the boxing voice for the voice of the people.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice. Of course, this is going to be the Mayweather versus Maidana preview show. We're going to do things a little different. Shout out to Jay Corpus. This was his idea. So we're going to pay the bills first, then get into everything. I definitely want to talk about the Audible thing because for months I've been telling you guys, take advantage of this offer that we have where we're able to give you, a free book. I finally did it myself because, why not support something that I'm asking you to support, right? So I searched boxing, very simple, like a Google search. Dude, they got classic titles here. I mean, you got the Cinderella Man with James Broderick and Max Baer. It's probably the greatest upset in boxing history. So you got that. And remember that you can press pause. You know what I mean? So you can pick up wherever, at whatever time of your convenience, of course. So definitely, oh man, another one that I'm going to get once I'm done with my first one is definitely the Muhammad Ali and Howard Cosell one. It's imagine, dude, it's a legendary athlete, and a television icon, and these guys, were individually interesting in their own right. I mean, think about, Muhammad Ali. He was the Floyd Mayweather of then. And then, Howard Cosell, man. I mean, if we think Larry Merchant is good, remember Cosell. So, definitely two great men, if not mesmerizing. But there's also titles like the Ageless Warrior, and of course Al Bernstein also has his there. Like I told you guys before, the 30 years of 30 undeniable truths in boxing. And we gotta keep it real. When it comes to Al, he's very good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? So definitely you could support Al, you support the Boxing Voice, and read some official boxing by some iconic people. And on it. So, the reason that every other time I spoke about on it and it was so cut and dry was because I hadn't tried the shit. So, of course, off recommendation from Matt, Matt, the producer, I got the testosterone, the T+, because you already know I'm doing hella fucking work in this house. So why not have a little bit of extra energy, but you have to work out, you know what I'm saying? You have to do at least squats because that already releases natural testosterone in your body. So in order for this to work, you have to at least be doing some sort of exercise. So all I can say is that it works, and it definitely gives you a boost in the libido. So you already know, if you want to fuck like a champ, T+ could probably help you with that, but you might get in trouble. And if you do, you already know, Fast Break Bell Bonds, 973-497-7000. Listen, these guys are the most important to me because these guys were around from the beginning when there was just the first show. The first show. They believe since then, and 3 years now later, they're still here. So, big thank you to them, and clearly big thank you to you guys because they're here for a reason, and it's because of you. Without the listeners, we ain't shit. Listen, I don't even remember if I did the chat room roll call last week, but I did open the chat extra early, so I better get some fucking thank yous in there. I'm looking and I don't see not one host slayer and nothing for something. Fucking alumni in the chat. Ness is on point today, man. Chat open early. Maidana Mayweather. I am so ready. But first,
you're listening to the Boxing Voice.
It's showtime! Welcome back, boxing fans.
Blood is good.
Iron face, a mask of blood.
Blood is emotion.
Too much fluid coming out the eye.
Blood is a story, a drama.
Deep gas, blood pouring right into his eye.
Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion.
Blood streaming now from the cut in the eye, the nose, his mouth, his cheeks swollen, and he's still crawling.
What we want is a bloody good fight tonight.
We have Heather, the Heat Hardy. Is this you?
This is me. I think I need to talk to you every night because you make me smile and blush over here.
Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Yeah, I love strip. I'm okay.
You're serious? You're serious?
And that's the good thing about UK. That's why I can't hate on them guys, man. They love fucking boxing.
No fighters in England. They all bums.
Did you hear what this idiot just said?
Yo, son, you're gonna get your ass beat by Molina, son.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He's overrated.
Do some pushes for me right now.
For the interview? Yes.
Let those gifted hands go.
Get out of here, first of all. Go home.
You want the table spot for free. You not even lying. You want the table spot for free.
BoxingVoice.com.
This is why we use the word sensation.
That has to be one of the best intros, I swear. Okay, so definitely want to take the time to shout out Homero. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right or not, brother, but Homero, you know who you are. Shout out to you and your entire office who listens to this show from work. And you go to war with the Beeb in the YouTube chat every show. Shout out to you. Azteca_916 on Twitter. That's at Azteca_916. Happy birthday, my friend. On Sunday, anyway, that is. That'll be May 4th after Mayweather either gets knocked out or wins. And I hope that this shout out does make your friends jealous, man. Thank you, and thank your friends for listening, of course. Philip, all the way from Germany, you know who you are. Shout out to you for the donation. And what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to divide that amount that you sent and use those as submissions for the Ruslan Pavatnikov glove. So, you know, I will email you and let you know just how many submissions that is, because while I greatly appreciate your donation, I still want to keep you in that contest and try and, you know, at least let you get something back for that. But we definitely appreciate that, man. But without further ado,
fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Boxing fans, here is Jameson.
What's up, brother? People might be bummed about the fights this weekend, but I'm goddamn excited for some fights.
Absolutely, man. You know, it's just so much going on, though, James. I mean, did you see the news that Fight Hype reported that video that they did with Richard Schaefer? Oh my God, this is bad.
No, what was it? Because I know we were talking earlier. We basically said that we're almost positive that after the Mayweather fight, Schaefer is going Splitsville with Golden Boy.
That's what it's looking like right now, and that has me nervous because I don't understand how a company that has the momentum that they have is willing to sacrifice that for this radical move.
But how much of it do you think it really is Richard Schaefer pushing for, or do you think Schaefer is just the face of the company? Because, I mean, we all know who Richard Schaefer is, but we know that he's the president or he's the CEO, but I really don't know the amount of work that, I guess, Richard Schaefer does from day to day. I know Eric Gomez is a matchmaker. You know what I mean? I know what, I guess, other people do there, but what does he exactly do other than negotiate contracts?
Well, what he does is clearly negotiate good contracts and run a company, because we both know that Oscar has not been running the company.
Who do you think? Do you think that Oscar would go and step in as the CEO though? Because I can't imagine he would want to do that. I imagine he likes being the face of the company.
I don't know what Oscar would do, but the point that Richard Schaefer's quote is, whether I'm going to be staying at Golden Boy, we'll find out in the next coming weeks. I don't like that. I think that causes bad things for boxing fans.
Yep, I definitely think so. And what does that mean? Does that mean Golden Boy is going to go over to HBO, or Showtime going to just deal with two companies exclusively? And is Al Heyman going to take all his fighters and split it up between TMT, or what? So many questions, man.
But that's the thing.
We keep wanting more. We want more fights. We want the best to fight the best. But now if we divide this by 3, I mean, it's just a terrible thing. I hate when boxing does this. They take 3 steps forward, 2 steps forward, and take 3 steps back.
And
this is why people think that we're in this sport and get frustrated.
It becomes another Cold War regardless, because now, you know, let's say that hypothetically it's Heyman, Mayweather, Schaefer, and then Oscar's going to buddy up with Bob. I mean, it's just going to be another Cold War. But, I mean, I don't know. Does Al Heyman want this type of drama right now? I mean, Main Events is suing Al Heyman. And they're suing several other people. They filed a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court in New York on Wednesday against several parties, claiming they interfered with an agreement the company had in place to co-promote a light heavyweight unification fight between Adonis Stephens and title holder Sergey Kovalev in fall. So when Al Heyman swooped in and stole Stevenson, this is the reason that Kathy Duva clearly is suing Al Heyman and numerous other people. But without further ado,
and now, here's Vic.
What up? Just got in, man. How's everything? Got through the sponsors. We're talking Kathy Duva. I seen the documents yesterday. I'm not sure what kind of credence it holds. I'm not a lawyer, but there's some interesting stuff there, especially the Al Heyman stuff. I gotta give Kathy credit. I mean, she's taking it to Al Heyman when not many people in this industry would even dare do something like that. I'm not sure it's going to hold any weight in court, but got to give her props for at least trying.
Absolutely. She's fighting. She's fighting. She's not going to lay down, and I like that. I like that. As much as I like what Heyman was doing, because I don't like it if it means Golden Boy is going to be divided. I'm waving a white flag right there. I'm jumping the ship right now if Al Heyman signing every fighter and monopolizing boxing a la UFC means that he's going to be feuding with Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum. No, I don't want that, because I'm a boxing fan first. And I need the good fights, and I need everybody fighting. I don't need this, league, whatever football is. What do you guys got? AFC and what's the other one? KFC?
AFC and NFC.
How many leagues in football?
2.
All right, well, I don't want that. I want one.
Well, I mean, it's one league, 2 conferences. I mean, everyone plays everyone. It's different. That's more like baseball, when they got 2 leagues. But even then, they still have interleague play where they play during the season. So.
Yeah, man. James, what do you think about this? I mean, I know you touched a little bit, but what do you think about Kathy Duva? She's definitely showing some balls.
Yeah, it's exactly right, man. I think that when you have an opportunity to kind of stand up to the man, especially when you feel he's doing something wrong, man, you should definitely do so and not keep your mouth shut. I mean, she has nothing to lose. It's not like they're working with Al Heyman anyway. The only thing it's going to do is maybe fuel the fire that they want to work together anyway. So, I mean, I really like what she's doing, obviously, because it's almost getting sick and tired. Because at first I was kind of with you, where I was just like, I really didn't care about Heyman swooped up and picked up everyone, because he allows his fighters to fight each other as long as they're under his contract and blah blah blah. And I think that he's doing showcase fighters with maybe that. I think that's a bit excessive, you know, with Keith Thurman and stuff this weekend. But I don't know, man. It's just when you put it in the way that there's just going to be another Cold War, it's just like there's nothing good that comes out of all of this, except for if this wins. If she wins, it seems like it's almost inevitable that someone's going to have to crack. And I really hope it's Al Heyman starts working with people more. Maybe, I don't know. It's just a terrible thing for boxing, and like I just get frustrated with all this shit.
Well, she's definitely coming at Al Heyman himself in a more serious lawsuit. She's suing him for violating the Muhammad Ali Act, where Duva contends that Heyman, who does not speak to the media or even like to be seen in public, which is true, I could definitely vouch for him not wanting to get on camera or sticking around long, is not just an advisor and a manager, but also acts as a promoter. And it's kind of fucking true, man. I mean, from the outside looking in, that is, you know what I'm saying? He wants a fight, he gets a fight. A fighter wants, if he has a fighter that wants a fight, he gets that fighter his fight. He's definitely, and not to mention when he gets his fighter on, 80% of the card has his fighters as well. You know what I'm saying? Look at what's happening right now. You know, look at every card. They're always Heyman stacked. So I don't know.
So do you guys really think that it's going to be, if Richard Schaefer splits, do you think it's going to be a team up with like TNT, or are they going to start their own new shit or own new thing?
Well, I mean that's tough to call because remember Mayweather Promotions or TMT or whatever you want to call them, they still don't have a promoter's license in the most important state in the country, Las Vegas. So unless they're trying to promote outside of Las Vegas, I mean, I don't know what they're planning on doing if shit hits the fan and everyone breaks up here.
Well, I don't know, man. It's funny that she's like right on time with this, Vic, because she's also coming at Schaefer. She's accusing Richard Schaefer of breaking his fiduciary duties to Golden Boy by not requiring promotional contracts with Heyman fighters and instead simply relying on Heyman's, and I quote, goodwill, placing the corporation in a weakened position. The suit also accuses Showtime Sports chief Steven Espinoza of knowingly having the clear intent of disputing the Stevenson-Kovalev bout. So she is not playing. Props to Kathy Duva for bringing the fucking ruckus. She's not laying down. She wants her fighter to get his fight, and you are not going to walk over that woman. That is official. I want to take it to the streets really quick. See who we got here. Oh, of course, alumni. He's always in there, man. Gotta get
introducing the hard-hitting ringside Robbie.
Guys, good evening, guys. How are you? Man, I don't know how much time I got, but I could talk about this for the whole show and then some. Because I have been in Ness's corner. I believe that Al Heyman is doing the right thing, and now that I hear all this, it makes you stand up and kind of take notice. You wonder who's on the right path here. I do agree that the Kovalev-Stevenson fight should take place, but I don't blame Adonis Stevenson for wanting to fight Hopkins because let's face it, financially, the Hopkins fight is going to be more meaningful than a Kovalev fight at this point. I just wish all this Cold War stuff in boxing would end, and everybody would fight everybody, and we wouldn't have to worry about fights not being made.
Robbie, let me interrupt you for 1 minute because I want to play devil's advocate, because let us not forget that Kathy Duva, while she's demonstrating, you know, I don't know any other way to put it, but fucking toughness and balls, we can't forget that she herself had a verbal contract and a contract that was exchanged via email. She didn't have anything signed for this fight, and that is why Stevenson was able to do what he did. Let's not forget
that is correct. See, the problem is, and that's where this lawsuit may fall apart, Ness, is because since there's nothing legally written down on paper that this fight was supposed to take place, if she's basing her whole case on Kovalev-Stevenson, they're going to throw it out of court. She's got to have other documentation to make a judge, stand up and take notice.
Absolutely.
Well, she has one of the best attorneys in the boxing business, in Pat Lynch. So, I mean, she wouldn't be, or he wouldn't have taken the case maybe if they didn't think they had a shot to win, even though it looks like they might not. I mean, I'm no lawyer. I mean, it'd be good to have a lawyer on here to talk about stuff like that. But Pat Lynch is certainly one of the better boxing attorneys in the business. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and he's represented fighters over the years as well, such as Arturo Gatti and other people like that. So if you got an attorney like that in her corner, there must be something to it. It's kind of too bad that we can't get her or him on the show so we could actually ask questions to see what direction this is headed. And I did read the LA Times articles that was posted about a week ago that was posted on this Golden Boy situation. And if I'm Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya, I sign Richard Schaefer to a new contract and give him whatever he wants, because he's done a very good job. I mean, he's handicapped Bob Arum and Top Rank pretty much. HBO doesn't have much of a schedule. They pretty much almost eliminated the entire competition. If Schaefer leaves and they divide things up even further, and they go to HBO, you're going to put HBO back in the game. And right now, with Ken Hirschman involved, he doesn't deserve that kind of privilege.
Well, I mean, HBO is always going to be in the game. I mean, it's right now until the subscriptions are close. I mean, they're really close right now, 3 million. Until those subscriptions are where Showtime has more, HBO is always going to be a player. I mean, if you've seen last week's ratings, I mean, they weren't, great to say the least. But, we'll see what happens. I said after May 3rd, we'll get a clearer picture of what's going on, and it's almost May 3rd, and the picture's kind of clearing up already.
Well, what I don't like is that Steven Espinosa kind of declined to comment, basically saying we haven't seen a copy of the lawsuit, so it would be irresponsible to comment without having reviewed it or discussed it with legal. ESPN got that quote from Espinosa, so I don't know.
Well, he doesn't want to say anything incriminating.
Of course, it's smart.
That makes sense.
I mean, of course, it's smart, but if you feel you haven't done anything wrong, I don't know. I think you give a little more.
I don't know. I remember the beginning of this. They were all coming on the conference calls and stuff like that and saying, everything's perfectly fine. They're Golden Boy's tighter than usual, and not 2 weeks later, it's almost like you said, the picture's clearing up and we're seeing exactly what's about to unfold. And I mean, it's almost like you got to take what they say times it by 2, and that's what the real picture is. So I imagine they know what the real deal is, and they just got to kind of keep their mouth shut about it, because I don't know. But it makes sense to me. I mean, you don't want to see anything at all, because you don't know what if he hasn't reviewed it with legal or anything like that, why say anything that could be incriminating? I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. I just don't like all these lawsuits. I'm not happy that Mikey Garcia's in a lawsuit as well, or that Andre Wood. I just want good fights. I'm not happy about that at all, man. Robbie, man, talk to us, brother. Let's change things up a little bit here, Robbie. Pitch us a fastball.
Well, to pitch you a fastball, I do think the Khan-Collazo fight will probably turn out to be the best fight on Saturday's card. And I'm picking Collazo.
Why are you picking Collazo?
Well, for one thing, I don't like Amir Khan, and frankly, I know this is going to piss off the UK people, but I don't want to see him be in any conversation for a possible September fight with Mayweather. I don't think he deserves that. I've never liked him as a fighter, and I hope Luis Collazo upsets the party, because I don't think Khan deserves that kind of fight. And I want Broner to go ahead and win, because I was thinking about this when you were talking about Danny Garcia the other day, how you said you would be happy with him rematching either Matisse or Herrera or fighting Peterson. I would also, since Broner is fighting at 140, I would also like to see Broner fight Garcia.
Robbie, you dodged the question, though. Who are you picking? Because it sounds like you're saying you're picking Collazo only because you want Collazo to win. Do you think he actually is going to win the fight, or do you want him to just win and that's the end of it?
Well, speaking of Collazo, he's going to be making $350,000, and the winner is going to be the candidate to face Mayweather in the fall if he beats Maidana. That is what Golden Boy is saying. And Broner, because Robbie brought up Broner, I don't know how the fuck this is possible, Vic. How could this guy be making $1.25 million? Like, how?
It's probably his minimums, his guarantees. He probably has a 7-figure guarantee, man.
Knockout or damn near knockout.
Hey, if you sign that contract, you could win, lose, draw. You got to get paid a certain number.
Yo, and Carlos Molina makes $150,000. Bullshit. This is crazy.
But for real, Golden Boy is saying that the winner of this fight is for sure going to get a chance at Mayweather in the fall?
That's what they're saying. But that shit is subject to change,
That's what Ness just said. James, to answer your question, I'm picking Collazo because I want him to win the fight, and I think he's a better fighter than Amir Khan. And maybe I'm biased here, but I've never liked Khan as a fighter. And I know a lot of people on this panel have talked about Amir Khan in the past, and not very many people are really impressed with him as a fighter. And I do not want him to get a shot at a big payday in September. I don't think he deserves it. I want to see somebody like Luis Collazo, who's been around a while, who's had to go through struggles in his life, get that kind of payday if that's the way the contract is written.
If we're complaining about Maidana right now getting a shot at Mayweather, we're sure as fuck going to complain about Collazo getting a shot at Mayweather.
Well, James, I'm not complaining about Maidana getting a shot at Mayweather. I mean, he beat Broner. He deserves the shot.
Well, I guess it's not just you. It's almost everybody. When you talk about this fight, every person's basically brought up the fact that it's not even that they don't think that he deserved the shot at Mayweather. It's just they don't think he's reputable. And it's just like, if you could pick between Maidana and Collazo right now, who would you pick? You'd obviously pick Maidana, which makes sense. But even if Khan gets sparked out, this is going to be his 4th time losing. And if especially if he gets knocked out, this will be his 3rd time getting knocked out. I mean, it sucks to say that you don't get any credit for beating Amir Khan, because you kind of do, because he's a favorite in the fight. But to me, it's something similar to like Victor Ortiz. Like, I picked him against Victor Ortiz. I thought he was going to beat Victor Ortiz. So when he beat Victor Ortiz, to me, that's not giving him credit. That's just being like, all right, well, you beat a guy that I assumed you were going to beat anyway.
Well,
so I'm picking Khan in this fight, though. But
unfortunately, James, the way boxing is handled these days, with the different promotion companies and Mayweather being able to pick and choose, who he fights, if contracts are written the way they are, unless something in this sport changes, we're either going to have Collazo in the fall or Khan in the fall. And, neither one of them probably deserve it, but, as long as he's got the power that he does in boxing, this is the kind of situation we're stuck with. And maybe one good thing about when he leaves, after his contract is over with, maybe no other boxer will be able to get this kind of status where he can basically cherry pick his opponents, because I think it's been bad for boxing over the years. I mean, that's why I've never been able to consider Floyd Mayweather a top-notch all-time great, because he's avoided so many people over the years.
And you know what sucks about that, Robbie, is that I feel that Maidana is actually a pretty credible opponent compared to Robert Guerrero and probably Victor Ortiz at that time too. So it sucks. But let me ask you guys a question, everyone. What are the odds that we actually get a good, exciting fight like we did this weekend? We all thought these fights this weekend were going to be all bum showcase fights. They turned out to be fun and exciting. What are the odds do you think this fight turns out the same way?
Well, I think that it could get interesting, because while I'm picking Collazo, I am secretly afraid that this fight could look like Paulie Malignaggi versus Amir Khan, and Amir Khan peppered the shit out of Collazo from the outside, kind of like he did Paulie Malignaggi. But the difference between Paulie and Collazo is not really necessarily power, because Collazo doesn't have that many knockouts, let's be honest. But he is relentless. He does come forward intelligently too, you know. But I don't know. Is he 100%? I mean, when you tear your shoulder like that, doesn't that shit happen over and over? But speaking of Amir Khan, really quick, he's supposed to be this draw, this big guy or whatnot, and he's only making 1.5 for this fight. While that's a lot of money compared to his opponent, Collazo, who's only making $350,000, I mean, Adrian Broner is fighting Carlos Molina, and he's making $250,000 less than Amir Khan. Amir Khan is in tough.
That makes sense to me.
Whether Amir Khan is in tough, whether stylistically Collazo may be easy in some people's eyes for Amir Khan, we all know Collazo's tough. He gave Berto hell, prime Berto. He gave Hatton hell, and you got plenty of people that feel he won both of those fights. So I mean, and he just knocked out Victor Ortiz. You know, say what you want. Head case, I don't know, but yo, he hit him. He did it.
I think with name recognition, Amir Khan in the UK might be a little bit bigger, but I think in like the casual fans' eyes here, I know more people that know only a little bit about sport that know Adrian Broner more than Amir Khan. Amir Khan's always that, oh, who do you fight again? But Adrian Broner is that, oh, that cocky dude that you see all the time that just got beat up in like sometime last year. They have more of an idea of what Adrian Broner, so that makes a little bit more sense, or that makes sense to me. It's just, I don't know, like Vic said, isn't it just guarantees? I imagine Amir Khan has a guarantee every time it comes out.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. You know, since of course
I'm thinking Khan in this shit though.
Since this is the Maidana Mayweather preview, Mayweather has a lot of interesting things going on in the headlines these days, huh? Outside of the fact that he's going to be making a whopping $32 million Saturday, did you happen to see those Instagram photos that he put out with there were pictures of a, what is that called, a sonogram, I believe, of two fetuses.
Oh yeah, the abortion shit. If that's real, like all this shit is just to promote the hype and just kind of get everyone talking about him. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather. That's all this is. Like when he said, what did he say? Him and both him and Oscar De La Hoya said that they might be interested in buying the Clippers too. None of that shit's fucking happening.
So you think they're just seeking attention?
Of course, this is what happens every single time. Every time. With the Canelo fight, it was almost self-made. The time before that was Robert Guerrero. He was just out of prison. The prison thing was real, so don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna like talk shit about that and say that was all made up for just a fight. But I mean, there's always something that he needs to do to put himself in the headlines, and this is just what it is. Because what can he do? Other than this, he can't possibly put anything else out there. So I just think it's not only is it for attention. I think it's a sad ploy for attention.
Yeah,
it just speaks to me that they're afraid of these numbers.
Well, interestingly enough, numbers have been bad on Showtime anyway. Hopkins' numbers came in bad, and even last week's numbers came in bad according to Nielsen's. So I don't know, man. I guess this is an indication to them guys that they can't be putting these one-sided fights on, even though they turn out to be good. You know, I believe Thurman only did like 600,000, right, Vic?
I believe he peaked at 800, but I guess the whole card averaged about 600,000.
No,
damn, and some Showtimes even get over a million.
I read that it was horrible during the Figueroa Belmontes fight.
Yeah, that was five. I think that did 550 and change.
Crazy. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call our first guest, Brian Campbell from ESPN. So, Vic, I actually wanted him to call in because, you know, this is risking the phone number situation right here.
No, I texted him. He's ready whenever you are.
It's dialing.
See if he picks up.
Hi, this is Brian Campbell of ESPN.com. Please leave me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks.
Good, maybe not.
All right. Well, text him, get some responses there. Let's stick on this Mayweather thing. Speaking of Mayweather and, of course, his fighters and money, J. Leon Love. I don't know, man. I don't want to be a hater, but this dude's making $100K, man. Like, I guess it's good to be with Mayweather. You got to get over there if you're a fighter. These guys are making money even in losing on the prospect level. Because he's never even crossed over to contender. Who's the contender that he beat to become one? I tell you what.
Nobody had a tough fight with Gabriel Rosado. That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's my fucking point. How do you lose in a fight? Because he lost that fight. And then on top of losing it, you test positive for a diuretic. And then on top of that, you know, you got dropped. Now you on another pay-per-view. And granted, look, that shit doesn't even mean nothing to me because you're signed to Mayweather, so you gonna be on a pay-per-view. That's just how he do. That's why Friday night Ishe is headlining Ryan fucking Davis. But he's about to fight Petty Bang, and I don't even think he could beat Petty Bang. I'm picking Petty Bang because this dude doesn't even like pressure. He doesn't even like pressure, and he ain't ready for the pressure that Petty Bang is gonna bring to his ass. And Petty Bang did what he did versus Sakio Bika. Bika's awkward as fuck. He holds, he hits, headbutts, all types of shit. And he's strong as fuck. You know them fucking Nigerian, African dudes over there, they strong. You see the knockouts he gets. He punches from awkward-ass fucking positions. J. Leon Love don't do none of that. He think he's pretty in the ring. And he ain't got the chin, because if Rosado dropped you, man, I'm expecting Petty Bang to put him down. Let me take it to the streets, man, until...
Yes. Yeah, he's ready now, man. I don't know. He said it never rang before.
All right.
If not, try one more time, and now I'll give him the number.
Brian?
Brian, how you doing? You're live with the Boxing Voice.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. It's a real pleasure. Big fan of the show.
Thank you, man. So, Vic, you want to go ahead and take it away?
Yeah, BC's out in Vegas, man. Tell us what the atmosphere is like out there. Is this the typical Mayweather fight, or it's losing a little of its luster?
I definitely lean toward the side of losing a bit of its luster. I mean, this is my second big-time Las Vegas fight, so my point of comparison, is different because I'm looking back at last fall's Mayweather-Canelo fight, which, as all the old-timers told me, that was essentially a big-time Las Vegas fight week on steroids. So far, what I've seen this week, it's not on the same level, but there's still, of course, that buzz with any Mayweather fight. There's still, fighter upon fighter walking around the casino floor. I think it's something that's going to build closer toward tomorrow as the weigh-in comes by and we get a little bit closer to the fight.
Now, there's a lot of things going on with Mayweather, especially on social media, whether it be the drama, whether it be him breaking ground on a new arena in Las Vegas. With all this going on, do you think they might be a little worried about the numbers that all these things are coming out on Fight Week? And, basically it's a whole lot of things, from abortions, from this to the All Access saying he might retire, all these other things. I mean, is this more of a ploy just to gain more pay-per-view buys, or is there some seriousness behind all these things?
Well, it really looked like a ploy yesterday at the final press conference when they started dropping those, hey, you never know, this could be Floyd's last fight, which is like, hey, if you're on the bubble, run out and drop your $75 right now because you never know. And, that came across as forced and sort of fake. But I'll tell you one thing that's interesting. I mean, we could wrap up this whole preview in 2 seconds by saying, Brian, what do you feel about the fight? And I'll say, 119, 109, that's how I feel about the fight. But there's got to be a reason why we're going to get excited and watch it, beyond just the fact that we like Maidana. And there's an interesting angle, like you mentioned. Is Floyd distracted, or are there, if there's too much going on that could somehow add a wrinkle to this fight to make it more interesting? Because, sort of that whole bizarreness that happened on social media with his Facebook page, you mix that with, if you look closely at the final presser yesterday, Floyd was almost in tears at the end of it when he was thanking so many people. And it came out sort of, it felt real, but it also felt odd that he was getting so emotional talking about all of that. The last time we saw Floyd this distracted heading into a big fight was, of course, the May 2012 fight with Miguel Cotto, where maybe, he took more punishment than we'd seen in almost a decade. Now, Maidana isn't Cotto, so I'm not trying to make that comparison, but it lends itself to believe, is there more going on in Mayweather's life than we know about that maybe could be influencing it? Because that All Access series, there was not one real moment in that whole series. That was as far removed from reality as possible. So I don't think we really know what's really going on with Floyd.
Now, I get the sense that with Top Rank not releasing Manny Pacquiao, Tim Bradley pay-per-view numbers, that, it didn't do as well as they thought it would. What's the likely outcome of such a fight with Mayweather fighting a B-side that, us, the boxing people, know, but, the casual fan might not know? And tie that in, it's sandwiched in between Manny Pacquiao, Tim Bradley, Miguel Cotto, Sergio Martinez. I mean, what's the realistic outlook for pay-per-view numbers on this card?
It's interesting. Yeah, this is I kind of look at it as a make-or-break fight for Floyd in terms of the numbers, because him and Pacquiao had that run of getting 1 million almost every fight, and maybe a lot of it was everyone buying the fight hoping it would be the one before they would finally fight each other. But that's sort of gone downhill once Pacquiao got knocked out. And the fact that we haven't seen these Pacquiao-Bradley numbers, probably means those aren't that good. This is a packed schedule, like you mentioned, and this is a fight where, the casual fan doesn't really know Maidana, and the hardcore fan realizes he's probably going to lose a wide decision. So the reason why I think that's important is I think the only way Floyd's going to be motivated to want to take harder fights and want to take on the dare-to-be-great moments that I'm always sort of complaining about is when the numbers are saying that he's lost a step at the box office. So if that leads to that, it could be interesting how this plays out. If the buzz doesn't really catch up to this fight, if all these are stunts they're trying to pull at the last minute, if it comes out 700,000 buys, that's going to say something, because we still don't know how many pay-per-views he sold against Guerrero, and he followed that one up with a Canelo fight that a lot of people didn't think he would take. So it's kind of an interesting side story.
And this whole Golden Boy Oscar Schaefer drama, how does this play into the fact that, a week from today there might be, Schaefer, Al Heyman, Oscar De La Hoya versus Oscar De La Hoya, and maybe Bob Arum, since Oscar De La Hoya says he wants to end the Cold War?
Yeah, this is really interesting. It's kind of an underreported story because there's not a lot to report. No one's really talking. Oscar kind of came out of nowhere with those comments to the LA Times. You feel like something's really happening. I mean, for you to hear the rumors for so long that there's craziness going on behind the scenes at Golden Boy, it has to lead you to believe that we're on our way toward maybe a potential split or something happening, and that's pretty exciting for any fan who, after a great 2013, we sort of settled in this year, knowing it probably wasn't going to be as good as 2013, and sort of looking and realizing that all the fights we really want to see aren't going to happen because of the Cold War. And then, to add insult to injury, you get that Stevenson-Kovalev potential fight pulled out from under the rug. So what happens if things do break apart? If suddenly, Canelo takes half of the, or a certain percentage of the fighters with him and tries to reunite with Bob, like outside of a million lawsuits, where does this go? I think this could be potentially exciting. I mean, it's so hard to kind of predict where it's going or what's going to happen next until people are really, able to talk about it or until a big moment happens. But this is very, very interesting, especially, if you're going to bring a certain percentage of these fighters back to HBO. If that's where this ends up going, then suddenly, game on again.
But Brian, I got to interject here. How is that exciting? From a boxing fan's perspective, it doesn't mean exciting. It means now we have another sort of Cold War, if not 3 different entities fighting. It's worse for a boxing fan. We're gonna get a lot more. We're gonna get a lot more Thurman versus Diaz.
It's on a whole, it's not good, but we've been dealing with such crap for so long. We've been stuck in this ridiculous bubble that I think it's a step toward, it's a shakeup that we didn't necessarily see coming if it goes out the way we think it might. And I think it can create matchups that weren't there before. But you're right, though. I mean, you have to be realistic in the sense that it's not an answer to the problems that are going on, and it could just be, a delay in seeing more problems down the road. But I think it's better than being stuck in a Cold War where people are just content to say, I can't fight him because he's on the other network.
But hey, what's up, Brian? This is James. Don't you think that there'd be some issues, even if Al Heyman does split up? I got to imagine that they'd still be on Showtime. Do you still think that the networks would come into play? Because it's almost like even if Al Heyman, or not Al Heyman, Oscar De La Hoya wants to work with Bob Arum, it seems like HBO still doesn't want to do business really with Showtime and co-promote. Do you think that they could break down that bridge?
It depends it kind of depends, I mean, we're all speculating here, but it depends if Oscar is able to break apart the company and still had a good enough amount of fighters to bring to the other side to make good matchups. If he doesn't have a lot, or if this is only a couple guys, then yeah, we're kind of back to square one in a way. It's good because things could be moving around, but it's not the ultimate solution. I think the ultimate solution is HBO agreeing to have Al Heyman fight us back on its network. I mean, that's ultimately the big thing that we need to happen to really bring this Cold War apart. So you can only get so excited, but I'd rather see movement than nothing.
I think that this is the most horrific, horrible thing that could happen because so many fighters are signed to Golden Boy and also advised by Heyman. It's going to be a disaster.
What does that do? What does it do to the contracts?
I mean, you got a guy like Danny Garcia. He's signed to Golden Boy, and he's advised by Al Heyman. Who else?
Well, there's that other part that people think that a lot of these guys aren't actually signed by Golden Boy. There's sort of that perception that some of these Heyman contracts aren't official Golden. That thing came out the other day about Keith Thurman maybe not being signed to Golden Boy. If that sort of exposes itself, that could be really interesting. Like maybe these guys aren't officially Golden Boy fighters. Maybe that was part of Al's plan.
Well, one guy that I was shocked to find out that Sean Porter wasn't, but I was live at the DC fight, and when I was interviewing, he clearly said it. He said, "I'm not signed to Golden Boy. I'm a free agent. I can do what I want, and I want Pacquiao or Mayweather." And I was shocked.
No doubt about it. That and that kind of, if you saw what happened in the news that came out with the main event's lawsuit against all the parties in the Kovalev-Stevenson situation, it sort of exposed some of, they're sort of accusing Al Heyman of trying to, break the Muhammad Ali Act and sort of be the manager and the promoter at the same time. And if none of these guys are actually Golden Boy guys, then this really opens up a lot of interesting potential situations.
Absolutely.
Of whose side is, which fighters are on which side if a split is coming.
What kind of credence do you think that lawsuit holds? I mean, it's a lot of stuff in there that's, verbal, emails, this and this and that, but it's nothing that was actually, contractually binding, written on paper. I mean, is this just Kathy Duva saying, you know what, Al Heyman, I'm tired of your shtick. You're not going to do this to me. Or does it hold weight, what she's trying to do right now?
You know, it didn't seem to hold weight when I first heard about it, but the aggressiveness of them and the confidence they have in it is quite interesting. You know, I don't know, you know, surely enough on the legal side to be able to form the highest educated opinion, but I just think it's interesting that they're willing to take such a hard stand to try to, I guess, expose something that they're trying to do and sort of call him out in this. You know, even if it doesn't lead to a victory, I think it's interesting what is being uncovered.
Well, BC, if before we let you go, I guess I want your honest opinion. Should the boxing fan buy this card on Saturday night?
You know, it depends who you're a fan of. It depends where you're at on that sort of thing where no matter who the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world is fighting, that you have to see it no matter what, because you don't want to miss it if something happens. But, you know, I don't want to say this is not a pay-per-view fight, because it is. Maidana deserves this fight, and it's Mayweather, so it is a pay-per-view fight. You know, Canelo-Lara is not a pay-per-view fight. It will be on pay-per-view, but that's not a pay-per-view fight. This one is. Should the fan buy it? Maybe not with what's on the schedule, with how many other good fights. I mean, I thought Pacquiao Bradley on paper, you know, was obviously clearly a much better fight than this, and so many people are looking to Cotto Martinez is another one where you know there's a lot more doubt potentially on who could win. I don't know if I'd buy it if I was a fan with not a lot of dimes to put together. I'd probably have saved my money.
Hey, Brian, before you go, oh my God, how could you say Canelo-Lara is not pay-per-view? I mean, just going off of what we've been getting in the past 5 years and how we've been begging for Mayweather-Pacquiao and Nonito Donaire Rigondeaux and, you know, fucking Gamboa versus Lopez in their prime, or Gamboa versus Caballero. We're getting Lara versus Canelo. This is a die-hard fan's fucking wet dream.
Oh, dude, I got the same. I'm wearing the same pants right now. Believe me, they're wet. I mean, I'm telling you, this is a great fight that I can't wait for. But I'm sort of bringing back from a reference point that we can't have paper. You know, for what the average fan, you know, has in extra money to throw around, you just can't be having a pay-per-view every month or twice a month. So when I look at the calendar and I look at that matchup, I mean, you know, Trout Canelo was on regular Showtime. To me, this is a great regular Showtime fight. I just don't like this precedent that now we're going to.
I'll be honest. I am not the richest man in the world, but if I have to pay for the real fights, I'll pay for it. I know that that's probably not in the best interest of the boxing fan, but if you're a true boxing fan, you're going to pay for it. It's a niche sport already. It's dying already. So if paying a couple of dollars means saving it, well, fuck it. I'm willing to save it because Lara Canelo. I want, you know, Garcia to be able to go and fight a Pacquiao or Alvarez, or a Marquez or Alvarado or Rios or Pavatnikov. And if $70 means that, fuck it. Take it from me every month.
Yeah, but do you really want to spend $70 every month and then still spend $10 a month and get garbage?
I would have paid for Donaire Rigondeaux because I'm just such a fan of those guys. But, you know, I would rather there be, if you almost compare it to like a tennis or a golf, where you look at a pay-per-view fight as a major, I'd rather there be 3 to 4 majors per year. You know, maybe the 2 Mayweather fights, the 2 Pacquiao fights, and one other or whatever. I don't want the fan to have to pay for a pay-per-view every month. That's really just the bottom line of that.
You know,
but that's going to drive away more casual fans than it will ever bring in, and we know that. You know, we'd much rather have it on regular TV, let alone, you know, have it on cable.
Especially when you pay an extra $25 a month for that regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
Vic, this is my thing, Vic, right? When you buy a Mayweather or a Pacquiao pay-per-view, you're not getting a 50-50 fight. You're buying it because it's Mayweather or fucking Pacquiao. We're not buying it because we think those guys are gonna lose, because 90% of the time they're in versus guys they're favorites. So the pay-per-view model of yesterday, let's throw that one out the window, and let's take the pay-per-view model of today, which is pay for the good fight. Because I would rather pay for Canelo Lara than pay for Maidana fucking Mayweather. But I'm going to pay for both because I'm a diehard. But if they were giving one away for free and making you pay for one, well, hell yeah, I'd rather pay for Canelo Lara because at least that's a 50-50 fight or a 60-40 fight, not a fucking – what is Mayweather, 12-1?
He's as high as 14-1, standard 10-1, I guess.
Listen, I love Mayweather. I think he's, the best fighter in the world, but I am so tired of watching him win that at times I secretly pray that he loses so it can shake things up. Let's shake things up just a little bit. All the greats have a loss.
The only
so if
people that
Mayweather
can
gets
talk,
one loss, it's no big deal.
The only voice that matters is the fans, obviously, to come together and not pay for it. And unfortunately, that's not happening. And I like what you say. We can't go back to the old model. It is what it is today. But the only way it's going to go back to the old model is if these fights that we know are crap don't get 1.1 million buys, and they instead get 600,000 buys, and then people start to change their minds and realize we need better matchups.
Yeah, we got to attack their wallets. That's exactly what I've been telling people. So
fight are you really going to boycott a fight? Are you really going to go on the internet and get a fucking choppy, shitty stream from Germany somewhere with some crappy announcer talking to you in some language you never heard of, when you could just lay in your fucking bed and click the channel, pause it, go get some popcorn, you drink a beer, you get a beer. Nothing's going to happen until you press play because we're in the fucking 20th century. Everybody has a DVR. They're pausing this shit. They're going to use the bathroom. They're coming back. They didn't miss Mayweather get knocked out or Mayweather knock someone out because they got DVR. I personally will not watch no internet fight. Fuck that. They could get my money. They could get it.
There's not that many people like you, though.
Yeah, they didn't get my money for Pacquiao and fucking Rios, and if fucking Collazo wins and they actually put up Mayweather-Collazo, they won't get my money again.
No. You see, I do this show. I come on here twice a week. Clearly, I have a passion for this sport. I am not going to listen. You not paying for that fight, James? You're slitting your own wrist because you're hurting your own eyes watching these shitty streams out there.
No, see, you talk about there's a difference.
Or you just wait till next week and catch the replay.
There you go. But also, what I'm talking about, there's a difference between wanting to spend the money and being able to afford to spend the money and actually thinking that you should spend the money. I could go out and throw $75 out my window, whatever. I could do it because I have $75 in cash on me. But do I want to do that? Fuck no. I don't want to do that.
But how would you give your take to the thousands of fucking people that listen to this show? All those fucking people that did write iTunes reviews, you're going to make them wait another week so you can watch it for free.
No, listen. Okay, so if you don't want to pay $75, then you're going to have to watch it on a choppy-ass stream. I don't know what to tell you. I would rather do that.
This is all your fault because you told Ness not to buy the fight.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I would rather a choppy-ass stream where I got to go to battle with 15 ads. I'm telling you, I'd rather battle that 15-ad choppy-ass stream than pay $75 fucking dollars for Brandon Rios to get knocked around like I thought he would. I mean, to be honest with you, this is why I.
Because we got Brian in the win over here. He's not talking much. Brian, don't feel intimidated, man. We curse. This is not a FCC over here.
Hey Brian, before we let you go,
I like when you guys have the English guy on that yells at everybody. That's my favorite guy.
Stuart Little?
Oh, Stuart.
Don't say that shit. Don't say that on the air.
Oh man, now he's gonna call in now.
He better call in now.
That's my guy. That's my guy I listen to on road trips. That guy's taking everybody out. I love when you don't give him the hook, you just let him go. It's great.
Oh my God,
Brian. But before we let you go, if you want to plug your what is it, Making the Rounds, your show that you have on ESPN, and of course the Great Tuesday Boxing Chat, which every boxing fan should tune in on ESPN.com.
And give your predictions.
No, wait, Brian.
Yeah,
before you give your predictions, speaking of shows, and you know, Vic just gave the plug for yours. Have you noticed this new boxing show called Boxing 30 TV or something like that, or Boxing 30?
Yeah, I've seen it on the Yes Network. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
I think the best part about it is they have highlight rights, so that you're getting I guess what is it aimed at? Is it sort of aimed at a semi-casual fan who has a clue but probably didn't watch the fights live? So they have good highlights, so you get a sort of a recap of what's going on. They use a lot of the promoter interviews that they record a lot before the fight, so it's not bad. I was surprised to see it on there, and it's I'd like to see maybe more analysis, but it was a pleasant surprise.
That's Brian's telling you he hates it. That's what that means.
No,
I translated it.
I don't think he's saying that.
He basically just said, you know what he just said? He basically said, she's not bad looking, she's got a great ass, which means she's fucking ugly, she's got a great ass. That's it.
I don't know. Well, I have a different opinion. I think that it's good. I think that the guy could be what's his name? Chris Shirian or something like that. It looks like he was an ex-baseball player, so maybe Vic knows him. But I think that he could be a bit more knowledgeable. But he's doing a good job. I mean, he featured Frank Galarza and he featured Gabriel Becerro on there. And those are low-level fighters, I mean, Galarza's probably like 12-0 right now, and Becerro, Jesus Christ, is the biggest win he has is Demetrius Salidas. So I think that that's good. They're reaching out, on a low level. But like Brian said, they do have every bit of footage for whatever fight. I mean, I've seen Mikey, like I've seen highlights of B-Hop. So, shout out to Yes Network, and if you guys have it, DVR it, because again, we have to save our sport. No one else is going to save it for us.
Exactly. We want more casual fans in. We want. You remember back growing up, and you'd watch Holyfield Bow 1 through the squiggly lines on your cable. Because you can kind of steal the pay-per-view by taping a nickel down on the cable button on your cable box. You can get like a scratchy version, and you'd hear the audio and watch that, and then you turn on SportsCenter and you'd get 20 straight minutes of live coverage from Vegas. That's what we want again. We want that again.
It's what we all want, brother.
That's the thing.
Yep.
BC, what's your pick? And then tell everyone where they can follow you and when they can catch you on Making the Rounds, and of course the Great Tuesday Chat.
Thank you. I appreciate the shout out. My pick, of course, is Mayweather by wide decision. I'll give Maidana 1 to 2 rounds there, but I think it's going to be a comfortable, clean win for Floyd. He had success against Broner, but I think it was more of Broner's arrogance and the fact that he jumped over on Broner early. Maidana's best chance, obviously, I think is going to come out and try to do the same, but he's just not going to be able to. That's really what I'm looking at. I'd love to see an exciting fight. I'd love to see maybe a knockdown, from Maidana just to mix things up, but I don't think we're going to see that. But catch me on Twitter at bcampbellespn and Making the Rounds on ESPN.com every Wednesday morning. So thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Who do you have for Con Collazo? Because that's the one that everyone's split on right now.
Yeah, I like that fight. People are crapping on it. I like that fight a lot. I think that Con will prove us that he's back. I think he's going to get wobbled at times. I don't think he's going to go down, though. I mean, he's sort of trying to say that his move up to 147 will reestablish his chin because he's not cutting weight. I don't know if I believe that, but I'm going to give him a chance in this new weight class to prove himself. I don't think Collazo's a big puncher at all. I think he's going to be able to showcase that dynamic offensive side to him and restore his confidence and probably put himself in position to get the Mayweather fight.
Smart man. I'm picking him too. Everyone else is picking Collazo on this panel except for me beating you.
It is what it is. BC, what time's your chats on Tuesday? 3 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Well, thanks for coming on, brother, and enjoy Vegas and enjoy the BWAA dinner tonight.
Hey, I appreciate that, and you guys do a great job on the show. I'm a big fan, so keep up the good work.
Thanks, BC. Have a good one.
Take care.
Well, that was my man, Brian Campbell, Making the Rounds. Him and Kieran Mulvaney do a good job on ESPN.com. And if you were a fan of Dan Rayfield's Friday chats, I know a lot of people don't like it anymore because I don't know why, but BC does a good job on Tuesday. So if you want to get on and talk boxing on ESPN.com, Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern, man, I'm there religiously.
Well, and he's picking Con. He's smart as fuck.
Let's take it out to the streets. We got a shitload of callers here. This may be Rob Palmer. 702, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this? 702. Don't hang up. You don't want to talk. It's cool. 716. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's good with it? Supreme General, Hustle Gang Bar.
What's going on, Blade?
Man, I'm chilling, man. How y'all living, man?
Doing good, brother. Doing good.
Chilling.
All right, that's good.
Yo,
man.
for everybody that doesn't know, this is our good friend. He's also a writer for the site, and he created that intro for us that I played like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that joint. I personally like that. I thought it was flavor. But now
I like it too.
I just want to. Oh yeah, I appreciate.
Is that song that made you send me, Ness?
You.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Hold on.
When it comes to the hurt business, they don't just talk it, they live it. The heart and soul of the game is at the Boxing Voice. No pulling punches or feints up at the Boxing Voice. They shoot it straight to your face up at the Boxing Voice. Ain't no other sight in the game could see the Boxing Voice. This is the Boxing Voice. This is the Boxing Voice. You want it really?
You gotta play that before we leave, man. You gotta play that before we leave, man. That joint's a banger, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Ness has been talking for 5 minutes on mute. He's still going. Ness, you're on mute, brother.
Technical difficulties over there.
He was getting fucking worked up. I could tell it in his face.
I use the mute often because I like to try and give everyone the best quality of audio possible. So what I was saying was that the production on that shit is crazy. Like, shout out to you, man. I mean, the production, I love it because I'm a hip hop fan. So I right from the beginning, I noticed that the production was amazing. It wasn't no shit you did in your bedroom with two fucking radios and a microphone. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you. And there's other people that have sent intros. DJ Punch sent one. And pretty soon we're gonna be playing that one. But we definitely appreciate that. Vic wants us to outro with that. I've been playing Cams because I'll be honest, I love Cams. Cams knows I love his shit. I fucking tell him every day. His shit just gets me hyped because it got the sound bites, man. It fucking gets me woo. But go ahead, Hustle Gang Boss.
Yeah, I was just calling to give my opinion on the Mayweather Maidana fight. I personally don't understand why Mayweather get quite so much criticism, especially when it comes down to his pay-per-views. Like, to be honest with you, if I'm looking at the 147 landscape right now, I don't see nobody that you really can argue is in a better position to have had a Mayweather fight than Chino right now. I mean, Sean Porter is a good guy, but I don't know. I don't know if his wins are on the same level. I mean, I'm not even talking about the money. I'm just talking about the quality of opponents. I think he maybe need like 1 or 2 more fights, and then you got, of course, Keith Thurman, but to be honest, if he was fighting Keith Thurman right now, everybody's saying he's snatching up. He's too early to fight him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would still be a heavy underdog. I don't see anybody that you could pick that you could put against Floyd that wouldn't be an extreme underdog. Like, I just can't see it. So like,
but you're talking about what's available to him, right?
Yeah, that's basically how I'm looking at it. And then it's like, in the past, like, people say he dug people, but who did he dug? Like, I don't see nobody that could have beat the man that he obviously avoided, with the exception of maybe Margarito, but you got to disqualify him for them loaded gloves, man. To me, that should have been the end of that motherfucker. He should have. I fucks with Margarito too because I like that kind of fighting style. But you talk about loading gloves, man. You kill a motherfucker like that. He could have really, he damn near fucked Cotto's career up. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really look at him as somebody that was like ducked per se. You know what I mean? And outside of him, like, that's really it. Other than that, that's that. The Broner, Molina, yeah, you know what that is. The Khan Collazo, I'm picking Collazo. I don't like Khan. I mean, he bitch too much. He makes too many excuses and shit. I don't like excuse makers. I don't respect that at all. When you lose, you eat that. You learn from it. You get better. You don't make excuses. You don't blame the man with the hat. You don't blame this guy, that guy, and all that other left-hand shit he be talking. I don't fuck with him like that. So that's basically how I'm looking at that fight. And I think we're going to appreciate Floyd a little bit more when he's gone. As a person, especially with the shit he was doing with Miss Jackson today, that was a little – I was very disappointed in that. I didn't like that at all. But as a fighter, man, I can't see nobody throughout history that really would have beat Floyd. Nobody would have had the defense to really touch him. So, like, I appreciate it. I'm going to spend my money on this shit. You know, I know it's going to happen, but I know how the movie ends. I'm still going to watch it. But that's it. I'm going to let y'all get back to it. You know what I'm saying? It was good talking to y'all, as always.
Cool.
Pleasure having you, brother. You make some good points, too. On the ducking thing, I mean, there's people that say he ducked Margarito, people that also say he made duck Cotto.
Prime Cotto.
Cotto maybe, but, you know, Cotto at 140, I know for a fact Bob Arum didn't want Cotto and Mayweather to happen at 140 because he felt Cotto wasn't ready. Paul Williams, I mean, be that as it may, I mean, everyone I think besides, you know, bigger, not even bigger, but just Sergio Martinez, duck Paul Williams. Everyone at 47 wanted nothing to do with that, maybe besides a Margarito, who Paul Williams might have beat with, you know, when he had plasters in those hands. So I don't know, man. I don't know what else we could get unless Floyd was able to reach out to the other side, which he has no interest in doing. So it was either this or Khan for May. I mean, what else can we say?
Yeah, I agree with the caller. This realistically, this is the only fighter that's out there that we'd actually think that is credible that he can actually fight. But I think where his issue is, and where a lot of people's issue is, or not his necessarily, but I think they just want a stronger undercard because they have the ability to do so. It's just they don't want to pony up the cash to do it.
Well, they did pony up the cash. This is the quote-unquote most expensive undercard, but when 80% of the undercard money is going to two guys.
Exactly.
You know?
That's what pisses me off.
Maybe
it's like,
not 80, but at least 70% of it is going to two guys.
Where's our Danny Garcia and Lucas Matisse? Where's our Ponce de Leon and Abner Mares? Or wait, was that Guerrero undercard?
Yeah, hold on. Let's set timeout.
Is he on mute again?
Jesus fucking Christ. You guys are horrible, man. I'm playing charades with you fuckers over here, man. I wanted to introduce Richard Quinones, man. He's on the fucking line. And I want to introduce him to our listeners. This guy's called fights with everybody. Danny Jacobs, Danny Garcia, everybody. You know, he does Fight Now TV. It's Go Fight Live, excuse me. He's been on numerous podcasts, and I wanted to bring him on, you know, give his takes as well on Mayweather, Maidana, and, of course, the undercard as well, and just talk boxing with us a little bit because this is a guy that pretty soon we're going to be seeing broadcasting on Showtime or HBO. Because he definitely hustles hard. He's sat ringside with just about everybody, so it's only a matter of time. Richard, man, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys? And you know what? The check is in the mail, so you don't have to worry about that. You're covered for tonight. I appreciate the nice intro, though.
So talk to us, brother. I mean, Mayweather, Maidana. I guess we just asked Brian Campbell, is this a fight worth paying for? I don't know if you heard how I feel about it, but what do you think? Is this a fight you pay for?
Look, I think to guys like us, the diehard boxing fans, we're going to watch it, and I think anytime you have a Mayweather that's going to headline the card, you want to see if this guy's going to suffer his first loss and who's going to be the opponent to do it. So, I mean, look, I understand the split and where the money's going between these two and the rest of the undercard. I'm going to watch and I'm going to tune in. I hate to say the cliche that Marcos has a puncher's chance. He does. Do I think he's going to win this? No, I don't, but I think he can make it interesting if he does a couple things, and to me that's just, you know, not get frustrated. Don't get sloppy. Try to get those early rounds. Try to tie up Floyd, get him against the ropes, work the body a little bit, and no matter what, this kid, we saw what he did against Broner, right? This kid has to finish the rounds because we know that Floyd is a guy that's going to try to win the card.
win a fight on points. I mean, he's just a technician defensively in the ring. So I really think that's really Marcos's only chance here is to try to disrupt, frustrate, turn the tables a little bit on Mayweather, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So again, I definitely see Floyd winning this one. But yeah, as a purist, as a diehard fan, absolutely. Why would you not want to watch this? Because again, years ago when a guy named Buster Douglas stepped in the ring against Tyson, no one gave him a chance at all. So it's always one punch, and it could happen.
Yeah, but I guess the issue that a lot of people are having with this fight, though, is that the undercard isn't as strong as it has in the past. But I mean, what do you think about the undercard itself? Because it seems like everyone wants to have a stronger undercard, but then all of a sudden we argue, we complain about Showtime shows that we had last week where it's very diluted. We have showcase fights. I mean, realistically, it's almost like sometimes it's like a catch-22. It's where we don't want to pay $75 for this, for an undercard that's nothing, but then we also don't want to pay $10 a month for fights on a Saturday that again aren't nothing. So where do you think the middle ground can be? Do you think it's a possibility to kind of get your cake and eat it too for this?
No, I think it's a great point. And look, here, to me, if you are Khan or Collazo, you got to love it, because what kind of opportunity do you get to showcase your skills on a Mayweather card, right? And I really think that the Collazo and Khan fight is going to be entertaining. The problem is that when you guys look at boxing every single weekend, there's probably 4 or 5 cards all over the place, but we know the big boys, the HBOs, the Showtimes, get all the good guys. And I always believe if they want to continue to save boxing, because let's be honest, I can't stand when somebody freaking says boxing is dead. They're just ignorant. They don't understand the sport. It's not dead. But if you want to really have that resurgence, then you have to put, in my mind, you have to put and showcase the best boxers on the best card every weekend, and that's including the undercard, period. There's enough to go around in this pie of money that we have, right? Because, again, it's different from broadcast. Broadcast, the Fox and the ESPN, they rely solely on sponsorship and advertisement, but it's different with the cable and the Showtimes and the HBOs. There's enough buzz where, quite frankly, you don't really need to charge someone $65. I mean, the fans are the ones that are keeping the sport alive. I was never a big fan of PTV, but I spent money over the years. Who hasn't, watching fights that have lasted a round or two? But again, I'm just one of those guys like you at Boxing Die Hard that we're going to do that. If they want to continue to really drive the sport up and not take it past MMA, because I still think boxing is right where it should be, then they need to showcase some of these fighters that are out there and put them on the undercard. Make it a full card. All the fights I do, I always say this on air. Give me 5 really entertaining fights. Don't give me 8 fights that are just average, because it's not sexy to me. It's not easy on the eyes. It's not enjoyable to watch. I mean, of course, I love calling the action, but from a fan standpoint, I do think that we get cheated a lot.
Well, let me ask you another question here, because I mean, it makes sense to me that, I mean, with paying $75 for HD and paying, $60-something bucks, whatever it is. I haven't ordered non-HD in a long time, so I don't remember what it is. But if we get, say this pay-per-view gets 800,000 to 1 million views, doesn't it make a little bit more sense to put this on premium cable network like a CBS, where you could get like 7 million people tuning in because this is going to be an event, and then almost make the money and generate the revenue kind of like the Super Bowl does off the commercials? Because to me, if we want to grow it as a sport, I don't see why they don't do this. You know what I mean?
I would love to do it, but I would love to see that happen. I mean, take me back to the days of Wild Older Sports, where we used to get a Saturday afternoon boxing broadcast. I mean, it's so rare. But now, look, is it fair that, and I'm just throwing this for argument's sake, right, to just play devil's advocate, 9 o'clock, there's a card on HBO, and then 10 o'clock there's a card on Showtime, where obviously they're trying to, it's almost like liquor distribution companies in a giant stadium, right? They want to compete for pouring rights. Well, that's what Showtime and HBO do. They're trying to get those viewers who are going to leave that 9 o'clock start on HBO, switch gears to 10 o'clock to Showtime. And to me, it's not it's not fair. It's not enjoyable because there's so many things now. We have stuff going on with Fox on Thursdays, Mondays. We have ESPN and Fox and ESPN Deportes. We have Univision and Unimas, and there's all over this stuff. And all the stuff you can watch online. There's so much to go around. So, yeah, I would love to see them put boxing on CBS. And I know there's some talk that they're actually supposed to start creating more boxing on CBS Sports come summertime in the fall. Now, that's what I'm hearing. Now, I don't know how much of that is actually set in stone, but there might be an opportunity where you're going to see some local products depending upon where they are in the venue. I mean, look, DeBella does a great job with Broadway boxing in New York because he's got those young and up-and-coming prospects, and it's fit for those New York guys. But I would love to start to see some of these guys showcased all over the place. So going back to your original point, I would love to see boxing on the networks and not worry about the PPV or seeing all these cards being jumped and lumped together on HBO and Showtime on a Saturday night. It's just there's not enough time to watch everything, and it's just like I said. I think as a fan, they're kind of slighting the fan, to be quite honest with you.
Now, Rich, $75 is a pretty steep price to pay, and
yes, it is.
We're going on a trend here where it's getting dangerous. Where every other month, well, right now it's every month is a pay-per-view. I mean, why do things like this happen in the boxing world when coming off a strong 2013, where probably been the best boxing year in such a long time, we have seen nothing really great on HBO and Showtime, and all the best fights are being sent to pay-per-view.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, let's be honest, who are the most greediest people in boxing besides the fighters? It's the promoters. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, look, if they know they can stick a Mayweather on a PPV on a Showtime and stick someone else, fighter B, on HBO, then they know they're going to get a substantial chunk. I mean, they know for a fact that they're going to get X amount of views and X amount of people buying this, right? So what's going to happen? All of a sudden now everyone in Mayweather's camp is happy, Maidana's camp. You know, did you see the split for Collazo and Khan? That's an absolute joke. I mean, what about the rest of these guys on this card? So that's where the pay-per-view is also going to help in that regard, because it's got to pay some of these fighters on this card. But you're right. It's coming to the point now where in 3 to 5 years, I think there's going to be a time where every boxing event is going to be PPV on HBO and Showtime. You know, ESPN has the Friday night fights, and there was talk that this was going to be the last year. ESPN has it because they just need that content. They need filler, ESPN2 on Friday nights. That's basically what it is. And then I give De La Hoya credit for trying to corner the market with a lot of the Spanish fighters and doing the Fox Sports and the Golden Boy promotions and, you know, NBC Sports Network, Main Event. They put on some real good fights. I mean, they had the Mansour-Cunningham fight. So they've showcased some good guys. But again, you flip through the dial, right? You don't need to lay down $50, $60. So you're getting it for Fox. You're getting it from NBC Sports Network. Hopefully CBS. That's the route they have to go. But everyone is so freaking greedy in the world of boxing. It's sickening to some extent because they forget about the fans. The guys like us and all your listeners that can reel off the last 20 world champs in 20 different divisions and all these different belts because they're the hardcore. They're the guys that are keeping the sport alive.
So I guess as a boxing fan, I mean, you're stuck in the level of, you know, if I buy this, well, guess what? They're going to do it to me again. But if I don't buy this, they may not do this to me again, but I'm missing the fight. So what is a fan to do?
I don't see. Here's the thing. That's where I'll disagree. I don't think. I mean, look, we don't buy the fight. Guess what? They're still going to make millions of dollars. They just don't understand that there's other networks out there. It's greed, man. That's just the bottom line. we talked about, and I talked about this, and I know you guys all talked about this, the stupid Cold War. It's just these promoters, they just take these networks, want to take all the great fights, all the great cards, and guys who might be working a 9-to-5, blue collar, got a young kid or a young daughter who love boxing, and they want to see some of these guys. Man, to lay down $69.95, guess what? That's a lot of money for them. That is. And I know someone out there might be like, come on, Rich, are you kidding me? No, I'm not. That's a lot of money because you want to get your money's worth. So if I'm gonna flop down $69.95, you better give me some good fights. Give me a good undercard. Give me something that I'm going to walk away and I'm going to talk about, not scratch my head and say, man, I just spent $69 for that garbage. And that's the problem. It's just never. There's always going to be PPV. There will always be pay-per-view in boxing. It's never going to change. I hope it does, but it's just not going to change.
So, Rich, man, give us your final picks for this weekend's card, and we're gonna get you out of here so we can take some of these many callers we got.
I think that you're going to see a little bit of an interesting early round with Marcos and Mayweather. And again, I just think ultimately, Maidana may get a round or 2, 3 might be stretching it. I don't see the shot there. Look, if there's a guy out there that can beat Floyd Mayweather, we would have seen it already, and I just don't see it right at this moment. And, honestly, for the Khan Collazo fight, I'm not the biggest Khan fan, to be quite honest with you, man. I just, he's a good-looking guy. He's a business guy. I go back to the bout against Judah, right? Southpaw, great angles. And the only other notable Southpaw win was against McCluskey for him. Collazo is a guy who is crafty, southpaw, tricky, awkward, took it to Ortiz. I actually think if Khan wants to rejuvenate his career and he wants that shot at Mayweather, not only does he need to win, he needs to win in impressive fashion. Honestly, I think Collazo is going to break him down here and there. And I think it's going to be a fight that goes to the card. And I know everyone's taking Khan. I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go Collazo in a decision.
That disappoints me. You're supposed to agree with me.
Yeah, but is that really fun if we always agree, right?
No, not at all. That's what makes this show.
Hey, Rich, man, thanks for coming on, brother. We hope to have you back on talking another some more boxing pretty soon.
Awesome, man. Hey, real quick, you guys can follow me on Twitter, RichQ on Q, and check out Comcast in your market. I just did Golden Gloves in New York with Lou DiBella, so I think that's going to be on Comcast and also SNY. So I appreciate the time, guys. Thanks.
No problem.
Later, man.
All right.
Damn, Comcast has got all the good channels.
9-347. You're live on the Boxing Voice. Is this my Nika Ben Umar?
Yo.
It's not. 347. Who's this?
You hear me?
I hear you, brother. Who are you?
I'm Kevin. I'm Kevin from Queens. Yeah, man. This
Kevin,
guy.
what's up, brother? I apologize. I mistaked you for Ben Umar.
All right. Yeah, this guy you just had on, man. He was making some good points. Honestly, I'm not going to drop $70 for every single fight that they drop. I'm just not going to do that. I got a kid. I got things to do. But the last guy who called, the one who before him who called, he was saying, I wouldn't pay for Lara Canelo. I mean, are you crazy? Like, I would drop money for that, man. Times are rough, but they're not that rough that I'm not going to see that fight. So I paid for that fight. But the Khan, when it comes to Khan and Collazo, I'm going for Collazo all the way. I'm so sick of Khan. Every time I go on any website, anything, he's talking about, I'm tired. Why did Mayweather pick Maidana? Like, yo, who are you, bro? Your jaw is glass. Like, yeah, I'm going for Collazo because I'm seeing Collazo drop Khan in the 8th. Anything, but
wait. I gotta fucking interrupt you. Dog.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Kevin.
Kevin, this is your first time calling in, right? Because I've never heard you before.
Yeah.
Kevin from Queens, man. Kevin from Queens.
Often. You need to call in more often. Great call so far, brother. I just had to interrupt you because I'm enjoying it so much. That's
I hit you up on Twitter sometimes, but yeah, I hit you up on Twitter, Tubbs NYHC.
But you see how Ness is right now? This fool over here is saying he loves your call, but although you said you didn't want to pay for Marcos Maidana, but you'll pay for fucking Laura. Ness wants you over there to fucking pay for every goddamn pay-per-view there is.
Yeah,
I can't pay for every single pay-per-view fight. Get the fuck out of here.
Ness wants you to open up credit cards. He wants you to check your fucking FICO score before we start going into boxing season.
Look, he doesn't want to pay for Maidana. That's fine, but he's willing to pay for Canelo, and I just thought of that on the fly. Like, but if they called me and said, "Hey Ness, what would you pay for Mayweather versus Maidana, or guys that I know he's 12-1, or would you pay for these Canelo Lara type fights, these Rigondeaux Nonito Donaire fights, these Gamboa Lopez and Primes, whatever other fight Danny Pavatnikov, I'd fucking pay. I'd pay 140 for that. 140. I'd pay $100 to see Matisse versus Pavatnikov right now. Right.
I think. But would you? Okay, I understand that you would pay. Do you really want to pay? I mean, we know that there's going to be pay-per-views. Does that mean that we're going to put every fight up on pay-per-view?
I gotta agree with Ness in this retrospect that if we're going to have pay-per-views, 50-50 fights, yeah, I agree. But you also got to have a name because they're not just going to put a pay-per-view that's not a name. But I agree with him on that. You know what? Shit, I'll pay for Lara Canelo over Mayweather Maidana any day of the week.
Well, I'm not arguing that point. My argument is that there's so many pay-per-views now. Everyone's a pay-per-view star.
Let me tell you something. If you give me the option to pay for what I want, listen, I don't know how many of you guys' cable bill is $220, but I pay $220 for my fucking cable. I want what I want. So if you're going to give me fucking Danny versus Pavatnikov and Pacquiao versus Mayweather, I will give you what you want. Do you want blood? Do you want to draw blood? Take it. You want urine samples? You can have it. You want follicles in my hair? Take it. But I want Pacquiao Mayweather. I want Danny Pavatnikov. I want Rios Danny. I want Lamont Peterson fucking Marquez. I want all that.
Wait. You'd pay for Lamont Peterson and Marquez?
Yes.
What?
Listen, I want the best versus the best, man. I want it. I don't care. If they got to jack up the price so that I could get it, fuck it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not backing that.
I mean, in reality, they don't have to jack up the price. They choose to.
I'm already tired. I'm already tired.
What, my $10 a month of Showtime subscription isn't enough?
Wait, this
dude,
guy was
I'm the
saying
same guy that last week was willing to side with Heyman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready for something new. If you want to charge me, fuck it, man. I'll get another job if I have to. Yeah. But I need to watch my shit. I don't want bullshit fights.
He said he wants fights on network TV. I don't want to see boxing on Fox. I don't like commercial breaks. I'm not a fan of commercial breaks. I don't want to sit down and watch fucking Twinkie commercials on. No, I don't want to see that. I want to see boxing. I want to see what the trainer is saying to the guy in the corner. Like when Molina was fighting this guy and he was in the corner and the doctor came up to him and said, yo, and the trainer will get into a fight with the doctor. I want to see shit like that. I don't want to see commercials. I'd rather see it on HBO.
Kevin.
I pay for that.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin, no fucking homo, and I know that term is fucking so many years ago, but I love you. I love you because I feel the same way. I don't want to watch boxing on Fox Sports. I don't even want to watch boxing on ESPN, motherfucker. I don't want that little stupid shit at the bottom of my screen telling me about sports that I don't even fucking watch and stock market and garbage like that. I don't want that. I want the corner, just like Kevin said. But I'm such a diehard. I watch that bullshit.
But let me ask you, if it's on normal TV, what we want is we want the best fight and the best. If our sport doubles with fans because it's on Fox or it's on ESPN or it's accessible for everyone who doesn't have an HBO subscription, we will get the best fighting the best because the need will be more. You think that there's demand now? Double the amount of people that watch boxing because it's accessible to everyone. You don't have to pay your Showtime subscription, and we'll get the fucking best fighting the best.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I mean, it only benefits boxing if this shit's on network TV. I mean, there's more money there, there's more viewers there, and
That's all they care about.
you know, that's pretty much it. I mean, we got to stop these $80. This shit's gonna be $100 one of these days, and it's gonna be some shit every month. You're gonna have to spend $1,200 just to be a boxing fan.
It's like gas prices. Once it hits a certain peak, it doesn't ever go down.
Hey Vic, look at what Mayweather does, dog. He gets the guys to come out the woodworks. We haven't heard from Uli since I think it was probably when he went to Canada. No, he went to Argentina too. This motherfucker's a trooper right here. Yo, Uli is back. Damn, this is the week of the comebacks. Uli's back and Mario's back. Uli, what's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, Uli? What's good, man?
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I've just been a little quiet on the down low.
That's cool, man. What's going on?
We're talking boxing business, man, and I think what we're witnessing is the structure of the business is changing. I mean, in the past, you had people like Don King, you had Bob Arum, that were pocketing the lion's share of the fights, whether they were on network TV or on pay-per-view. I mean, you have people like Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, in title fights making like $25,000, $25,000. And I know it was in the 80s and all that stuff, but, you know, people getting cheated on their purses and all that. So what Al Heyman and Schaefer and even De La Hoya started doing is they started putting more of the power into the fighters' hands. The fighters they're not going to get a cut of a jersey that is sold. There are no merchandising rights. And it's also not as mainstream as some of these other sports. You're going out there, you're putting your life on the line to make a buck. You want to get the most out of it. So you're having this tug of war between the fighters that are realizing that they finally have leverage in a sport that's their own. So once you get to that point where you're fighting for a title and you're a contender, you start making a name for yourself. Why would you put yourself through the punishment of 3 fights a year when you don't have to, when you can fight 2 and have twice and have larger margins and actually end up pocketing more money than if you're fighting more frequently? So we're seeing an evolution, in my opinion. Who knows how this whole thing's going to shake out? But it's nasty. Like what you're saying, Vic, the whole, you know, to be a boxing fan, having to spend $1,200 a year, that's stupid. But you know what? That's what happens in UFC. Why can they afford that? I think it's because they have the sheer numbers in the ratings. You know, to have a guy like Bigfoot, you know, what's his face, have him headline a pay-per-view event. How does that even happen? That's like freaking, you know, Lamont Peterson headlining a pay-per-view event in boxing. What do you guys think?
No, I mean, I see what you're saying, but there's instances. I mean, there's reports that show that the popularity of UFC has gone down dramatically, especially from, you know, the pay-per-view buys. I mean, I think they've only hit 1 million a few times, you know, in their history, and their UFC on Fox ratings have very much dwindled. And that MMA, UFC, it's a niche sport because there's certain people like us that are going to pay the $80. They're going to pay the $70 and buy that shit. But that's what we're going to stand for. I mean, if we're going to stand for us just being a niche sport from, you know, now until forever, then you know what? That's what it is. We're never going to grow on pay-per-view.
Hey, Vic, let me ask you something. How does Box Nation and Sky Sports and all that shit out there work? Or James, you let us know, because right now Vic's talking to the dog.
No, man, I have no fucking idea. All I know is that they get most of our showtimes or most of our pay-per-views for free because they pay for their Sky Sports or whatever it is, and they get their little commentators.
We need a fucking European right now.
Real quick, what the point that Vic just made about not being able to grow a sport is if everything's on pay-per-view was the exact point that I'm making with you when I was saying I don't think that all these fights should be on pay-per-view. Like, just because I will pay for them, honestly, in the last, 8 years, the only pay-per-view that I didn't buy was Pacquiao and Bradley, and that was me just literally saying I'm fucking tired of this bullshit. So, not Pacquiao Bradley, I'm sorry, Pacquiao Rios. So, like, that's exact. I guess that I couldn't articulate it as well as Vic did in such a quick sentence, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. We won't grow a sport if we keep putting everything on just $80.
Until we get a European that calls in, like Stewart or even the Irish fellow, my friend. I think no, he's from Scotland. I'm from Scotland. I love boxing.
I mean, but the thing with like the UK and them is.
But I think they pay for those things, Vic. That's all
it's like an HBO Showtime thing.
Yeah.
They have to pay for the subscription, but the thing is, like.
Yeah, but they also
they rarely. It's weird. Like they put their fights on pay-per-view. You know, they put Carl Froch, George Groves, while all the Mayweather, all the other fights, I mean, they get for free, which is pretty fucking awesome. I'm sure we pay for more pay-per-views than they do on a yearly basis.
And that's the point that I'm making. That they pay for garbage. They pay for garbage. So what I'm saying is, if they're willing to pay for garbage, I'm willing to pay for good shit. I'm willing to pay for Laura Canelo. I can't wait. Listen, I would rather Saturday be Laura Canelo than this.
But their Froch Groves was Laura Canelo.
Yeah, I mean, it's not pay-per-view. It's going to be on pay-per-view. I mean, something that's going to sell out an 80,000 fucking stadium.
James.
Come on.
How fucking dare you? How dare you? Blasphemy.
What are you talking about? I know, before you even say anything, you're sipping on Zerp over there. You're not even thinking about what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that the popularity of Froch Groves is the popularity of Canelo and Lara in this country. Is that not true?
Absolutely.
The whole country.
Not.
What?
Absolutely.
No, it's a lot more, dude. It's a lot more. The popularity of that fight in the UK compared to Laura Canelo.
Let me just.
No, that's what I'm saying. Ness is almost going against that.
One sentence out. Let me just get one sentence out. Let's not forget what country we're talking about. We're talking about guys that line up 60,000 to watch fucking Frampton fight no one. Okay? So let's not get that confused with what Groves was when he fought Carl Froch. Groves had only beaten James DeGale, another 11-0 or 12-0 fighter. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, telling me that is a worthy pay-per-view and comparing it to Laura Canelo.
Did I say it was worthy?
Here. And
did I say it was worthy?
Callers start commenting in the chat or fucking all in YouTube going crazy with your pitchforks. I'm not saying the fight wasn't good. It ended up being good, like Ruslan Bradley ended up being good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is at the time, Groves was absolutely no one. He was a person that I didn't even fucking seek to go watch. Because until you do something, I'm not fucking looking at you.
Well, I'm not saying that the fight was worthy, but let's think about the second one now. They're going to have to pay for that, and the dude got knocked out, and you give that 5 more seconds, there'd be no rematch right now. All right? So what I'm saying is the popularity is there, just like us. Just like us. Do people think that Mayweather or Maidana doesn't have a chance against Floyd Mayweather? A fucking course. Are there casual fans that don't know who Maidana is? A fucking course. But what it is the popularity of Floyd Mayweather drives his pay-per-views. So the popularity of Froch Groves drove their pay-per-views. Did we have to pay for it? No, we didn't even get it over here, yet they pay for it. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's worthy. I'm saying that we're talking about the business of boxing. If the money is there for them to make on pay-per-view, of course they're going to do it. Why give it to someone for free when they can make the money themselves? They don't have to pay this to Showtime. They don't have to put Showtime's face all over it. They don't have to put Skybox's face all over it. What I'm saying is, when I compare it to Canelo and Lara, that's comparable to theirs. They think it's their 50-50 fight because at the time that was their 50-50 fight, so that's why they pay for it. They get Mayweather for free like we get Froch Groves too for free.
James, I can't believe you're still trying to stand here with this fucking standpoint. Where's Stuart Little when you need him? I guarantee you Stuart wouldn't have called. Well, not Stuart, because he's just he's got fucking UK tatted on his fucking ass. So not UK, but another civilized person who's capable of knowing that black is black and white is white would tell you that was not a 50-50 fight.
Why do they sell 80,000 seats to the new fight though?
Listen, you don't have to live in the United Kingdom to know boxing, James. So fuck a European. I want you to tell me how that was a 50-50 fight. When Carl Froch did all that he fucking did in his career, this motherfucker fought Pascal, Abraham, Durrell, Ward, Boutte. Fuck, man, what's wrong with you? Fuck
And I want you to tell me why Mayweather's really gonna stop Floyd Mayweather, or Maidana's gonna stop Floyd Mayweather when he beat Diet Broner, who was coming up 2 weight classes. Where's his credibility other than beating Broner? Losing to Devin Alexander? Losing to Amir Khan that we're all talking shit about? Where's his credibility?
Ness, check the line. Check the line. There's a UK caller if you want to take that.
Huh? He beat Lopez?
Josecito Lopez.
The fight after getting beat up by a 154 Canelo? The 2 fights after getting almost stopped by Victor Ortiz.
What about his win over Carras?
Soto Carras, you mean the career bum until recently? The guy that didn't win against anyone until he beat Andre Berto?
Wait a minute. The career bum until recently. So which one is he? Was he the bum, or is he the recent guy who's been showing that he could fight? I mean,
his only thing is his heart and his determination, which he didn't really get until recently. He never was anything. He got beat up by Gabriel Rosado, then came down in weight. Then he made a good fight with Andre Berto, and then beat him at the end. And then he got sparked out by both Maidana and Thurman.
Listen to me.
You're giving this dude credit when you would normally be shitting on him.
We could go at this forever. I just want to tell you that let's not tie up the lines. We robbed Uzi, and we could dissect and fucking make everyone's resume look bad. There's not one person out there that you can give me a solid resume on.
So then why are you saying that Groves didn't deserve Carl Froch?
Because he had less than that. He only had James DeGale.
Well, to be fair, that's a big domestic fight, no matter what you think.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah, I think the key here, I mean, we're not talking about the quality of the fight. I mean, the quality of the fight, I have to agree with Ness. I mean, George Groves, there was some excitement. I got on his bandwagon a little bit when I saw his determination, leading up to the fight. I mean, like, man, this kid really believes in himself. And you got to kind of fear somebody that believes he's going to kick ass, in the way that Groves did. So I actually began, supporting him and being interested in that fight, but it wasn't a Lara Canelo as far as the caliber fight. Now that said, I think the big difference is how the UK fans support their boxers, the way they support their teams. I was in London just last month, and there was a match going on that filled Wembley for teams that weren't even based in London. There was the Manchester City, I think, versus Sunderland. These are teams that are way up north, and there were 90,000 people, and every bar in the city was packed watching this sport. And that's why I feel they get some of these big, fights, and they get all the support. Here in the States is different. We have all these bandwagon fans. I mean, you go to Shea Stadium Citi Field when the Mets are doing like crap, and it's 25% filled. We're bandwagon fans, and that's why a lot of people say boxing is dead, and this sport is dead, and that sport is dead. It's because, when it's exciting, we'll support it, and if it's not exciting, we won't support it. And that's a big difference between, in Argentina and in the UK and in Italy and France, where people show up week in and week out and support their people regardless of what they're doing.
I just don't think that's true, right? Let's take this in a different angle, right? Other sports come out to the venues, then that's cool. Boxing fans are lazy. Let's be honest. We watch boxing because we wish we were the fighter. We wish we were living that lifestyle. We wish we were in there beating the shit out of someone and having the cool girlfriend. In my case, I have the great-looking girlfriend anyway. I don't have to beat anybody up for that. But, we wish we had that. Who the fuck doesn't want to be Floyd Mayweather or fucking Marcos Maidana or any one of them? You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean anything. I mean, UK fighters and their fans, they love boxing, and I love that about them. But we over here, we pay for our boxing, because tell me that the revenue generated off of pay-per-view boxing sales is not greater than any stadium is doing, including their fucking hot dogs for $6 a pop. We spend more than them. We're just lazy. We want to watch it at home on TV. And we got a couple of thousand, not 50, not 60. We got a couple of thousand that'll come out and pay for that shit live. But we'd rather watch it in our beds or in our living rooms.
Well, the difference is between boxing and normal sports too is obviously that if you can't travel to Vegas, then you're not going to be able to see the biggest fights. If you can't travel to New York City, then you can't see the biggest fights. It's not accessible. It's not easily. It's not just there at the fingertips 3 times a week.
Exactly, and that's why I believe that they're not better than us. We are the. I'm telling you, we are the elite boxing. We are the elite fans of any sport because no other fan spends as much money as we do. They just don't. They just don't.
I agree. But there's a UK caller on. He hit me up on Twitter, by the way.
Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you now.
Nick's probably already been to Vegas and Puerto Rico. I mean, you kidding me? How the fuck could they even compare? There's no fan that could compare to a boxing fan. There's none.
Ness, speaking of boxing fans, you got your UK caller on the line.
Excuse me?
There's a UK caller that hit us up on Twitter that said he's on the line. He could talk to you about all you want with Sky Sports and shit.
Which one? I don't even see a usual UK name. I'm going to go to this 111 and see if we're lucky. 1111.
Hello?
Yes, who's this?
Hello? Me?
Yes, who's this?
Oh, this is Hector.
Hector, what's up, brother? Where you calling from?
California.
Talk to us, brother. You're live on the radio, man.
I'm live? Okay. I just want to talk about the Maidana fight. I'm really excited for it.
Go for it.
Maidana?
Yeah, man, go ahead. What do you think about the fight? Who do you think's going to win and why?
Well, I heard you guys talking about 50-50. You know?
Not about this fight. Do you think it's 50-50 though?
I think this is a 50-50 fight. I think they set up a good fight. That's why I call it. I didn't understand why you guys, complain about it. Maybe you can explain why.
It's not that we don't think that. Well, I don't think it's a 50-50 fight, I definitely am not complaining about the fight in the sense that I don't think that Maidana is incredible because at this point, like the caller a few calls have said, is basically he agrees and I agree with him. Is that right now Maidana is the most credible. If we put Keith Thurman in there, he's not worthy yet. He's too green. He hasn't fought anybody. There's no one else really out there for him. But
no, Keith Thurman is very good. Maidana ducked him, but.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I guess I want to hear more your point because the people are complaining because there's other fighters out there. Like he could have fought Bradley had it not go through Pacquiao. He could fight Pacquiao. There's other fighters out there that he could fight, barring the Cold War. Barring the Cold War, what I'm saying. So I guess that's where people are coming from. But why do you think Maidana has a 50-50 shot in this fight? Because I don't mean to like talk shit to you, but it seems like you're in the minority right now thinking that.
Yes, I know, but it does make sense. I don't think boxing is cheating me out of my money. I pay for every pay-per-view fight, and it's I think it's unfortunate that people have lose faith in it, but I really believe Maidana is a number one contender for my Mayweather. I love Mayweather too, no homo.
You have a little bit of an accent. Where are you from, brother?
Listen, I can't disagree with him. Clearly putting myself in his shoes. You know what I'm saying? He feels he's a 50-50. He's a 50-50, and I mean, what other win at 147 at that time could Maidana have gotten that you guys would have said then had the same impression as the Broner win, if not greater, so that he could be a more credible opponent to a Floyd Mayweather? There is none. There's nobody at 140. He would have had to cross over the top rank and beat Pacquiao in order for you guys to say that, or Bradley.
I've been pretty high on Keith Thurman for a while, so I think if you honestly beat Keith Thurman and say in December instead of Broner, I think I would have been just okay with it.
James, did you fucking take mushrooms today? How the fuck when Keith Thurman didn't even fight Karras yet, he was credible enough to get a Mayweather fight?
Who the
Christ, you're taking us back to the Andre Berto days where you beat up on Berto, you get a title fight with Mayweather. Come on.
And what? Victor Ortiz at the time. Who else was better than Victor Ortiz and Manny Pacquiao at the time?
And that's my point. You want to continue with that model with guys getting Mayweather fights for people that aren't even credible? Come on.
If you're talking about resumes, yes. If you're talking about resumes, yes. But my eyes test, like the eye test that we always talk about, I've been high on Keith Thurman for a while, and beating him is impressive to me. If Sean Porter goes in there and beats him, that's Mayweather. That's Mayweather to me.
We wanted a UK caller where we got one. We're live with Filbert. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? Hello, guys. Great show, great show. I've just done some homework. For Box Nation, we pay $192 in your terms, and that gets us all the HBO fights. That's $192 a year. That gets us all the HBO fights and all the Showtime fights.
Does that include your Sky Sports subscription?
No, that's on top of my Sky, which is £40 a month. But
that's like $60
on top. Box Nation is you got to pay on top.
So is $190. Divide that by 70. That's like three. That's three.
What is your cable bill per month? That's what I want to know. What's your cable bill per month?
Okay, per month I pay is £50. That includes Box Nation. Box Nation costs £10 per month, which is $16.
Hold on, let me just interview you. Let me just interview to get through this. Does that cable bill include internet and phone service, broadband service?
No, that's just TV. That's just TV and phone.
Okay, so now £50 is how much American dollars? Estimate is fine.
70, 80?
I don't know. I'll get it up on Google.
It's like 70 or $80.
Is that £80?
We're killing the time here with the silence. But so if he's saying it's $180, if he's saying $180, it's about $80, I imagine, in the United States. If he's saying it's $180 and he has to pay that for all our pay-per-views, he's essentially only having to pay for 3 pay-per-views, where this year we're going to have to pay for like 8.
Yeah, I would say UK. I would say us in the UK, we've got a better deal than you guys in America.
Yep.
But technically speaking, you don't have a better deal because you're paying all that money for Kelbrook versus Carson Jones, and you're watching Frampton versus what the fuck is that kid he just fought?
For that money, we get Mayweather, we get Pacquiao, we get Canelo, we get Lara.
Yeah, thank God for America, right?
No, because this weekend it's all about UK. Amir Khan is going to steal the show.
No. And that's cool. That's cool. But what I'm saying is your subscription, the money that you're paying wouldn't be worth it if you weren't getting these American fights, because what you're watching is Scott Quigg versus some dude I never heard of that probably folds the shirts at the laundromat.
Because I'm a boxing fan, I choose to pay the extra £10 a month for Box Nation. Box Nation in the UK is where majority of the overseas fights are. So because I'm a boxing fan, I'm glad of all the American fighters.
Now,
Eddie Hearn on Sky.
I heard you using God's name in vain, saying that Khan was going to win and steal the show. That's why I really wanted to ring up. I just wanted to say that, as Habib said, Amir Khan's going to give Colasso a boxing lesson, masterclass, for 12 rounds.
The ghost of Habib is here.
Decision win.
I agree with you, brother. You're a very intelligent UK fan. I agree with you.
And if you think about it, you've got a Go-Go on the bill as well. He's going to show you American guys the talent he's got. Fear Pain, I know, Ness, you call him a bum, but he should have won against Garcia.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you something, Filbert. I try not to talk about Theo Payne too much because Danny had a tough fight, so right away people be like, oh yeah, but he beat Danny. So I try not to talk about him anymore these days, but we both know he's not good.
Yeah, I'm just fishing. I'm just trying to will you in. I can't even pull that one off. But anyway, just real talk. Amir Khan is going to win.
Now,
and Broner to win inside 6 rounds as well. I think the defeat might do him well against Maidana, and you might see the best to come in the future years with Broner. He's a talent, and I hope he can get back to his best.
You know, my sentiments exactly. I really hope that Broner is everything that I believed that he was, so that Boogie Down Sean could eat crow. But I want to ask you, do you know what this sound means?
Yeah, I rang in a couple. Yeah, crow. I rang in a couple of weeks ago because I had to eat my crow about Malinaji and Sean Porter. So I ate my crow then.
Okay, so you know the rules. Sunday.
Yeah, I know
you
the
should
rules.
be calling
I know the
us.
rules.
Okay, so Sunday you should be calling us.
Yeah. If time, I'll come in definitely. No, I'm coming in to gloat.
There you go, Philbert. You hear that? You hear that, Ness?
Vic, you seen how I reeled him in? He wasn't even confident. He was like, yeah, I'm going to call in. I'm going to call in to eat my crow. Then he was like, no, wait, I'm calling in to gloat. He's not even sure Amir Khan's going to win.
No, I'm sure. I just I said that because of the rules, because I was wrong about Malinaji, and I came in and I came in and ate my crow, but Amir Khan's gonna give her a boxing lesson.
All right, Philbert. Well, thank you for helping us out with some of those pounds and dollars and cents. And I'm gonna go to this guy or girl because it has such a weird name to be a boxing fan. Tender Lovin' 89. You're
What the hell?
On the Boxing Voice Radio.
What's going on, man?
I wasn't expecting that.
Now, who the hell are you, and why is your username Tender Lovin' 89? You sound like a fucking ice cream commercial, brother. What's going on, man? Talk to us.
It's a long story, man. I was gonna see, what do you guys think about the Jay Leon Love and the Paraban fight?
Well, I'm gonna let my guys jump on that because I've already said that Peribon's gonna win.
I agree. I think Parabon's gonna walk that man down, give him a beating.
I disagree. I just think I just think unless Parabon knocks him out, he can get in scorecards, and I don't think he's gonna knock him out. Even though, yeah, Jay Leon got dropped by Rosado, but that's hard luck, man. He's got to straight up knock him out because ain't no way in hell he's getting scorecard in Vegas on a Mayweather card.
But what do you think Jay Leon Love offers? I mean,
Jay Leon has a very good jab. That about it, as Jay-Z says.
There's gonna be police officers on duty. Believe me, there's no robberies taking place.
Well, what police officer? Bernard Hopkins? I mean, ain't no police officer. There's an Al Heyman, Floyd Mayweather, Golden Boy, Showtime show.
Victor Salazar.
The cops are the crooks.
Al Heyman has proved to you that he will sign the opponent if he beats his guy. Enough said.
Well, apparently he hasn't signed Gabe Rosado yet. He's used Gabe Rosado as an opponent for his guys.
That's a good point.
Listen, no, it's not a good point, James.
That is a good point.
Not. James,
am I right?
Let me tell you why it's not a good point, James.
Go, you hit me with it.
The reason you don't sign Rosado in that time is because Jay Leon Love, at the end of the day, got the win. You get
Why
it?
did he get the win, though?
Jay Leon lost in the fashion of an Ortiz or in the fashion of a fucking Broner. Best believe the opponent gets signed to Al Heyman. Or did you forget that before he got the fight, he had to sign with Heyman?
No, wait.
Broner, did you forget?
No, listen here. This is what you're talking about, right? You're saying that because there won't be a robbery because if he loses, he'll get signed by Al Heyman. So what's going to happen? Are they going to run up in the middle of the fight and be like, all right, I want everyone to score this for Jay Leon Love. Oh, shit. Parabon's winning. Run back. Hey, dude, real quick. Actually score it the other way. They can't, if the fix is in, the fix is already in. They're not going to go ahead and... They're not going to test you.
And there's only one Mayweather fighter on the card. You best believe that boy ain't losing.
Do they have a shadow puppet signal that they're going to give? A shadow puppet signal? If you see this on the wall, you gotta switch it back.
No. Listen, you're absolutely right. There's not going to be any flea flickers in the middle of the fucking fight. But I'll tell you this. Peribon is not going to need it. Peribon is not going to need it. Jay Leon Love has not beat anyone. He hasn't done shit. And he moved up 2 weight classes because he's a fat fucking cookie-eating motherfucker.
See, I was just arguing Vic's point. I think Queribon's going to win, though.
Tell me. Why is he that fat? Why? Why did he start at 154 and he didn't jump up one division but two? Come on, man. He taking diuretics already and he ain't beat nobody. He's already taking steroids, this motherfucker.
Hold on. What does that sound, first off? It sounds like someone's killing some fucking animals, okay?
I don't know. Hey, Ness, if you see a 571, go to him. On the line.
And if you see someone behind me, that will make sense because that's who you're going to probably be fucking talking to because I don't know who you're talking to.
Fucking Ramiro, he already knows I don't like his little Mexican superstar ass.
That's not Ramiro. But it's
Are you taking shots at people behind their back, Ness? Is this what you want to do with the boxing boys?
I love you, Ramiro.
No, it's not Ramiro. Go to him if he's on.
No, I know, just in case he listens to the podcast.
Oh.
571, you're live, brother. Talk to us.
Bob Arum.
Yo, Ness, Vic, Ike.
What up, Ike?
What up?
This is Ike from D.C., Ness. Rico's boy.
Hey, man, what up?
Oh, what's up? What's going on, brother?
First time caller, man. This shit is off the hook, man. Hey,
you fucking
I got
pop
a quick
that cherry,
you,
baby.
I got a quick question for you, though, because I've been listening for the last hour.
Okay.
Your man from ESPN, right? You don't think he contradicted himself?
Wait. First of all, direct that shit to Vic. That's his man.
No.
Listen
to what I'm saying. He said that he feels like there's only for pay-per-views there should be like, only a certain amount a year, right? Kind of like golf tournaments or whatever, like the Masters and all that type of shit, right? How you gonna say that and say he would rather, buy that, but then wouldn't turn around and he ain't gonna buy the Mayweather fight on Saturday?
That's a good question. I mean, Brian, if you're listening, man, or you're probably not, but if you're catching the podcast, you need to answer yourself. You need to stand up for yourself.
You hear me?
Nah, we hear you. Yeah, you make a good point.
Just saying that if Brian is still listening, he needs to call back in and answer that because, like I said, I don't know. I'm paying for everything. I'm paying for Saturday's fight. I paid for the Bradley fight. I think there's only one. The Reels. I boycotted that one. I did boycott that one.
How can you say you're going to boycott that, but you'd pay for Lamont Peterson and fucking Marquez? That doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, it's more. Let me tell you something.
Okay, you go ahead.
While Marquez would be a favorite, that's still a very good fight, and it's a better fight than Rios Pacquiao. Rios had absolutely no shot. Had I been Rios' family member, or his brother, or his friend, I would have told him don't take the fight if you're thinking of legacy. But of course, he's thinking of finances. And he doesn't care about the ass whooping or the loss, so he took it. But you fucking knew, James. How dare you? You knew he was gonna lose. He had no shot, none, not even a puncher's chance.
I think Pacquiao versus me is a better pay-per-view than than Marquez Lamont Peterson.
I can't believe you.
Hey, you know what?
I can't believe you.
Pay-per-view.
Huh?
I'm charging $10 a head to get into my crib, man. I'm gonna make money off the Mayweather fight.
That's what you should be doing. You know what? That's smart as fuck. That's a good idea.
Hell yeah. do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do.
Crib, $10 a pop. All those that complaining about the 75, come over to my crib for $10, man.
What do you get for $10 though? Just the fight? You get a beer? What do you get?
Yeah, we get free drinks and popcorn.
Get everything. I'm gonna have the food. I'm gonna have the beer. I'm gonna have the liquor, man. I'm gonna make money off this Mayweather fight. I'm make money off of every Mayweather fight. Fuck that.
All right. Well, you guys already know.
If you're gonna pay that 75, you might as well get some. Besides the fight, of course, you might as well get some money out of it.
Shit, I'm with you.
Right or wrong?
You got a fucking point.
Right or wrong?
You right.
You're right.
Last time I had a Mayweather fight, I made like $300 off that shit. So shout out to Floyd and that $75 pay-per-view.
If I start charging for my shit, it's going to be me and my wife. That's it.
Huh?
If I start charging for my pay-per-views, it's going to be me and my wife. I usually have about 10 to 15 people over here. All of them are casual fans, just wanting to come over to watch the free fight or watch a free pay-per-view. And I provide
You're not
beer.
marketing yourself correctly, James.
Bro, I don't know what to do in Arizona. It's all UFC here. It's garbage.
Get yourself some Mexican buddies, man.
Yo, I'm telling you, that's all I got. That's all I have. That's all I have at the gym. That's it.
I wanna shake things up a little bit because since we're talking about Floyd and the whole fight, and you know it's taking place in Vegas, something that's fucking the greatest news since, I don't know, sliced bread, Jesus Christ, Pulp Fiction, Man of Steel, I don't know, but Las Vegas has enhanced their drug testing. They're going to be doing carbon isotope ratio testing. This is clearly a topic for Gabriel Montoya. So if you want that type of, stuff, he deals with, the drug testing and things like that. But I've heard him talk numerous times about what USADA or WADA do not do, which is carbon isotope ratio testing, or that they don't do enough of it. The point is that WADA does this, and this means it's good. Now we don't know, of course, are they going to withhold these results, but they're taking a step in the right direction. Definitely a step in the right direction. I got a quote, and it says, "This is going to become the norm for all major fights in Las Vegas, both boxing and mixed martial arts," Aguilar said. I guess he's probably the new commissioner. Vic will know that, and if not, we'll Google it. He said it lets everyone who is going to fight in Nevada know they have the chance to participate in an enhanced process. We no longer are going to just test fight night or post fight. Excuse me. We're going to test depending on how we feel as a commission.
Well, what does it mean by a chance, though? Does that mean that they have to opt into this and it's still not a mandatory thing?
I don't know. Let me finish up. It says, here's the thing, Aguilar said. This should be a standard for every fight, and I wish we could do it for every bout on every card, but it's not cost efficient. We have to determine how to strategically and run this program. And if you want the numbers, a 4-week program can cost up to $45,000, according to Aguilar. And the NSAC uses the World Anti-Doping Agency, also known as WADA, certified collector based in Salt Lake City, Utah. The same collector is used for every sample. The program is a major improvement from the traditional fight night test, and the NSAC relies on its calls for random blood tests during the athlete's camp. They're also doing different fight night urine test screening for steroids, diuretics, and drug abuse, and the cost as little as $145, but are routinely criticized as being easy cheats.
Does something like that? Can something like that be negotiated into a contract? Because I imagine, I guess playing the devil advocate with that, why would somebody pay $45,000 when they know that they're going to test positive if they take this extra drug test?
Well, I mean, he said it's going to happen for every major fight. So if you fall into that category, now you got to pay for it. There's going to be a time when you don't pay for it, when your fight isn't major.
So I'm confused. So if the fight's major, you have to pay for it, and if it's not major, you don't?
Basically saying if the fight's major, it's probably going to be included. It's something you have to pay for, but if the fight's not major, they're not going to require you to do it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's an expensive, administration process, so it's expensive to administer these kind of tests.
I'd be okay with this.
A $20,000 fighter isn't going to pay $44,000 to get drug tested.
That makes sense. I'm okay with that. I like that.
But James and all the many callers that I'm about to get to, speaking of drug testing in Nevada, Las Vegas, TMT suspended 2 fighters for testing positive for smoking weed. Louis Cubas Aries and Chris Pearson were supposed to fight this Saturday but got suspended by Floyd Mayweather. Now, I just want my listeners to know I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but they were training for a fight on Saturday, and marijuana is a known masking agent. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, because why would you smoke marijuana a few weeks before your fight, knowing that you're going to be drug tested? You'll get popped. It's like you have a drug test at work on Friday, yet you smoke weed anyway. You're exactly right. You're implying that they were doing some shit. I think they were doing it too.
Whoa, whoa. I didn't imply shit, my friend.
Stop it. You know what you were doing. You know exactly what the fuck you were doing.
Asking agent, that's all I'm saying. 636, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Yo, this Am, man. You doing? What's up?
What's going on, brother? Where you calling from?
Man, I'm calling from St. Louis, bro. What's up with you, man?
We chilling, man. We happy to have you. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. Pretty much. I've been hearing a whole lot of negativity, bro. Like, I mean, when it comes to boxing, if anything, we should keep it on a positive note. I mean, I understand there's bad things happen in the sport, and we have to cover everything, but I mean, at the same time, everything should be about, being positive and moving the sport forward instead of, kind of complaining of what, the inevitable. I mean, you have so many great boxers. Now, I remember 3 years ago, there was nobody talking a whole lot about boxing. It just really wasn't. It was either Mayweather, Pacquiao. Now you have heavyweights people are talking about. You got the light heavyweight division. I mean, you have so many different divisions that have 4 or 5 or even 6 different boxers that's in it that are competitive, good people. So, I mean, I think we came a long way. That's all I'm saying when it comes to that, spectrum of everything.
What specifically are you talking about when you say your people are talking negatively?
Like that one guy that just came on about an hour ago, something about, saying that shouldn't pay $75 and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, he just seemed very negative, and he didn't seem like he was, he seemed almost like he didn't want to watch boxing anymore, and that's his choice. Like, just don't watch it anymore. Whoever that, what's his name, Quinones or something like that? Some guy that came on. He just seemed extreme. He didn't seem like he had nothing positive to say about the sport. I don't know. That's just not rocking with me, my G. Like, that's not good. I just don't like that kind of stuff. But anyway, back on the topic on hand, Marcus Maidana and, Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people say he has no chance, but if you listen to Floyd has never, ever sounded the way that he sounds in his press conference. I know a lot of people say, well, he's just trying to get more buys. Maybe that's so, but at the same time, he seems like he knows, really knows that Maidana is not like your average customer. He's going to come here to murder him. He's not coming to play around. He's not coming to kiss him like Victor Ortiz. He's not coming to hug him or something like a Devin Alexander. He's coming to hurt him. He has no other mission in life right now except to hurt Floyd Mayweather and put pressure on him for 48 minutes. 3 minutes of each round for 12 rounds. So, I mean, I don't know. I just see, this fight being really, really good and you guys being like, oh, my God, whenever the next show, bro, this fight was really, really good. Mayweather actually got dropped and then Maidana got dropped. I see something bigger than what you guys are seeing. I know I may sound eccentric, whatever, but I just see something great is going to happen on Saturday night. The overhand right is so awkward, and the way that he jabs now, because Robert Garcia's been working on his jab, I just see something that you guys don't see. I look at the little things in boxing. Yes, he's not technical. We all know that. He's not a master of boxing. We get that. He's lost. Yes, he has.
Yo, what's your name?
But I believe he gets it this time, and he's ready, man.
I got to interrupt. What's your name?
My name is Anthony, man.
Anthony, you're an optimist. And that's cool,
guy from Maidana.
I said you're an optimist, and that's cool, because so am I. I'm an optimist, too. I said it earlier. I'm secretly praying that Maidana knocks him out so that we could shake things up a little bit. I wish I could do an impression of the guy that played Joker in Batman Returns, because, I want to shake things up. I just want to. Why so serious? I want to shake it up. I want something to happen. Mayweather, if he loses the power that he has, and Al Heyman loses the power that he has, and we get a shakeup. We get something happens. So I'm an optimist too.
Yes, sir. And then when it comes to Luis Collazo versus Amir Khan, Luis Collazo's slick. He has a great right hook. I mean, he has one of the most technical right hooks you can have, and it's very, very rare to see in a southpaw, period. Amir Khan, a lot of speed, very, very, very long arms for a 147-pound person, and he extends his reach really, really well when he punches. But like everybody says, that chin is always up. See, I feel like he wouldn't get caught if his chin wouldn't be up. When he punches, he still has to learn to tuck his chin better, and I believe he won't have any chin issues. Amir Khan can take a shot. I hate when people say he can't, because anybody else got hit with that overhand right that Maidana hit that Khan with in that fight, it's over, lights out. So the guy has a chance. One thing I will say, though, is it feels like when he gets hit by a big shot, he tries to get too macho instead of playing it smart. The whole point of boxing is, like when Mayweather, when he got hit by Moses those 2 times, he played it smart. He made sure he tied up as quick as fucking possible. That's what you're supposed to do if you want to make it to the next level in elite boxing. That's why, to me, he's still a B-plus fighter. Everybody, why? How could you do that? Yes, he's a B-plus fighter. He's not an A. An A fighter knows how to adjust and adapt, even when you're at the darkest moments in the ring. If you're an A elite fighter, you just got to do those things. Point blank, period. But anyways, I see Luis Collazo outboxing him in the middle rounds. I see Amir Khan getting frustrated because of his awkward southpaw style, and I just see him beating him to the punch. You know, Amir Khan is going to, of course, win some rounds. He's going to flash, blah, 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 you know, this little punch that he makes, you know, those little sounds and stuff. But unless he boxes on the perimeter for the whole fight and makes it easy for himself because he has a longer reach, this fight is going to be Luis Collazo dropping him in the later to mid-round, and then he's just going to just lose on points. I just see Amir Khan losing a split decision because, of course, one of the judges, some quirky, crazy judge is going to say, oh, Amir Khan won 8 rounds to 4 or something out of nowhere when he really didn't or something. I mean, that's just part of the sport. But that's how I see that. And then Broner, let's get to him because not many people have been talking about this fight. If he loses, even though I know you guys don't see it, if he does, though, career fucking over. I see Al Heyman not believing in him anymore, and I just see the downside of Broner because he seems so hell-bent on, pleasing the fans, and he doesn't think to be smart in the ring. He just wants to, walk people down that Mayweather style, which it just doesn't work for him to me. When you get on a certain level, it's just not going to work, So I want to see Broner use some more footwork. Of course, still be aggressive. That's what got him here, is being aggressive, but know when to be aggressive, Use that jab, use your little shoulder roll, whatever, and win the fight. Easy. You should get a knockout. By the later rounds, he should have broke down Carlos Molina's body with that stab jab and that check left hook and that pull counter that he does, and it should be a wrap, period. What do you guys think? You got to tell me what you think about that fight.
I think Broner's going to bully him. I mean, I think that he was stopped because Amir Khan, a lot of people, I guess Amir Khan's different because he has a little bit of a punching power with a lot of speed, and when those punches are coming in as often as they can, he might not have the one-hit knockout power where he's going to stun you and you're out sleeping, but it's accumulation of punches that's going to build up over time that's going to cause you to not want to really take any more punishment. So that's how I feel like he would, and plus he cut out Carlos Molina pretty bad in that fight. I think Broner's going to kind of just bully him like you see all the time. I think he's going to pop shot him like he always does because I don't think you're going to teach that old dog new tricks. I think eventually the ref is just going to stop it because I think Broner packs a little bit more punch than Amir Khan does. One hit power anyway. So I think that Broner is going to stop Carlos Molina probably in under 8. Yeah.
I got Broner beating him in 5. I mean, Molina's game, but he's just too small.
Yeah.
135. I mean, he's moving up to 140. He's got no pop. I don't know how he keeps Broner off him. I mean, it's a $1 million, $1.25 million showcase on pay-per-view.
Yep.
Let's take it to the streets. We're gonna turn on this drive-by mode, brother. It's a lot of callers. Brown, you're live. Talk to me. My friend, if you're calling in from a Skype and your last name is Brown or your first name is Brown or just your username, you are live. Okay. from Phoenix, Arizona. You're live. 602.
Yo, hello?
What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man? How you guys doing, man? First time listener, first time caller. I work over at the AZ Fight Club in Mesa, Arizona. I was an amateur boxer growing up. Big fan of the sport, love it. I listen to everything you guys have been talking about, from the Grove to comparing it to the Laura. And I just wanted to go back to that real quick. I think your boy had a really good point that you might have not known who Groves was because, unless he does something, then you'll watch. But they knew who Groves were, who he was. And, I mean, you got to understand that they love boxing just as much as we do, even though we bring in a big money. We show a big fight. And they obviously are probably thankful for that. But, I mean, they have a lot of action over there all the time. And I think the Froch 2 fight's going to be amazing. I don't think it's going to compare to the Laura Canelo fight. I think it's going to bring in way more pay-per-view buys than people expect. And that's just my opinion on that one. Now, as far as this whole Mayweather-Maidana fight, I think Maidana has a hell of a chance.
You don't interrupt a fellow AZ person. Don't interrupt AZ, please.
No. Because I got a rebuttal because he's talking about me, clearly.
Because he's smart and he knows what's up. Go.
No, see, because I didn't need to go watch Groves because all he had fought was James DeGale. And when I went and watched that fight, he lost. He lost that fight.
But he got the win.
So why am I going to pay pay-per-view to watch Groves fight fucking Carl Froch?
Oh, see, that's the first fight. You have to pay pay-per-view for it.
Yeah, we don't.
Unfortunately, it's a little different out here. 80,000 people aren't going to show up for a boxing fight nowadays in America. That's just not going to happen. So you have no choice but to sell it on pay-per-view. Because you're absolutely right. The average person wants to sit at home, invite their friends over, barbecue, either make a little money on the buys. But other than that, I mean, they're not going to sell out 80,000. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen on a regular basis. Over there, you hear about them being European champions. And them being a European champion is like being the WBC Continentals America champion over here, and nobody really gives a crap about it. Over there, though, that's like being a world champ. I think they have more of a pure love for boxing than America does. Because America just sees big flashy things. They see the Mayweather. They see what he does in and out the ring. They see the lifestyle that he lives. And I think more of European boxers and fans over there, they love it for the glory in a gladiator fashion compared to what we do, because I just don't see that happening. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you wouldn't pay for the pay-per-view, but unfortunately they're not going to sell it over there pay-per-view because 80,000 people are going to go buy it, and they don't need to run to the pay-per-views to try and get that extra money because they're already getting.
Well, look, I think that they capitalize on being a British champion, being a Commonwealth champion, being being the European champion. That means something to them, If you're a guy that's holding a green belt that's called a WBC Fighter Latino fucking champion, that don't mean shit. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. That's why you can get a guy who's a European champion and he'll bring 6,000 to 8,000 to 10,000 people in there because it means something to be a European champion to them.
Yeah. And you know what the European title? You know what the European title's equivalent to? NAFBF or UBF, whatever the fuck.
They don't give a fuck about that because what is an NABF title to us? There's no homerism. There's no sense of pride. If you're the New York State champion, maybe that's something different. But
Vic,
I see what he's saying. It means a lot more over there, dude. There's certain pride that goes with the belts that they carry over there.
Of course, because the problem here is that you don't want to admit it. You guys have me like this bad guy, this UK racist. No. Their titles, they hold them in such high regard, right? Because it's fucking almost impossible. It's like hitting the lotto to get a world title over there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's why they hold that bullshit title in high regard. We don't hold the NABF because guess what? That's just a stepping stone fucking title. We want the real fucking deal. And guess where the real deal fights happen? Over fucking here.
Well, because we don't know what the NABF title means. There used to be a time in boxing when there used to be a New York State champion.
shit.
I mean, if you do your history, there used to be state champions, and it meant something to people.
Listen, Vic.
But it's watered down where there's a title every fucking on every fight you see on TV. Some guy's holding a green bullshit belt. It's watered down. Doesn't mean shit. The titles don't really mean much anymore unless you want to get on HBO. If you want a WBO, WBC, IBF, it makes the fight look sexy. That's all it does.
All right, so answer this, smart Alec. A few weeks ago, when I tried to give Ashley Theophane some sort of credit for being a European champion, you called him a fucking bum.
Because he is a bum. He is a bum.
Stupid title that he held in high regard.
He is a bum, though. But, I mean, he came over here. He did something to Danny Garcia. But what I'm trying to say is the market here is watered down with so many goddamn belts. No, how many European champions do they have over there? Are there 6 fucking WBC, better Latino, motherfucker? I'm holding a belt because, you know, the WBC is giving me this. There's like 1,300 WBC, WBA belts, dude. Come on.
James, save us on this topic, right? Because how could you call a man who held a European title in Vic's mind is a high thing? They love those titles over there. Yada, yada, yada. 6,000 people. Oh, whatever. Nigga, they're just good fucking boxing fans. If we had UK fans over here, we'd be selling out 80,000 too.
What I don't think you're taking into context is their pride. Their pride there is a lot more than ours.
They're fighting for European title. It means something to people that actually go to the fights. To us, an NBF title means nothing because we don't know what the fuck that means. But if you go to Europe and you got these 2 guys who might never make it on a world level, but yet they're fighting for a European title, and they're from 2 parts of the country, whether it's Leeds, whether it's Manchester, and guess what? Manchester and this other part of their country, there's a rivalry there. Of course they're going to show up. We don't have that shit here.
No. I don't understand what world you 2 motherfuckers come from.
Doesn't come from the real world, motherfucker. Why do you think the NFL and the NBA do good? Because there's a New York guy facing a Philly team. We just like each other. That's how it goes.
Vic.
Got him, Vic.
Hear me out.
It's the same shit.
Listen, just hear me out. I'm going to try and put it in a fucking lullaby story and rock you to sleep here. If I'm a fighter, right, that prides myself on a belt that means nothing, it's because I don't have any ambition. And if I'm a fan that cheers for a title that means absolutely nothing, because if you're not a world champion, you are not a champion. So when Maidana was the IBF champion, he was a champion. It didn't matter that he was from South Africa. When Carl Froch went back with the WBA and the IBF, he was a world champion. Those minor belts, and that's what I'm saying. You guys say that I'm a racist again or that I hate fucking...
Who say you're racist?
They're those fucking bums that they hold that bullshit-ass title in high regard because they know it's going to be impossible to get to a world title. Real fighters... They don't go to sleep at night and dream of a European title. Mayweather's Jr. or Senior or Roger or De La Hoya, they never said, I'm going to go to Europe and fucking fight for a European fucking piece of shit. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Okay, so you mentioned Maidana. Who the fuck gave a fuck that Maidana had a title? I'd like to know. Maidana couldn't draw shit to flies.
Title, it doesn't matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. All right.
Hey.
Those belts not only mean something to the fighter, it means something to the fans. That's the point I'm trying to make to you.
Yep. Yo, Ness, let me make a point.
Because it's prideful for the fans of the UK to someone that holds that European belt, someone that holds that Commonwealth belt. Not an NABF, because we don't give a fuck about an NABF, because what is an NABF?
All right, Vic. So just answer this. Is a European title equivalent to a world championship title? Any of the notable sanctioning bodies? Please tell me.
It's not a world title, Ness. But
well, then why the fuck do we care?
Nestor, how many American champions do we have? You act like we have 100 million, dude.
Dude, listen, it's not about America.
It is. There's a reason why they support that sport, because it's because of the pride they have in the fighters and the pride they have in the belts, dude.
Yep. Look at someone like Guillermo Rigondeaux that could barely get any ratings on TV.
You guys want to be politically correct. It's cool.
What?
I'll tell you what I'll do. Listen, I don't give a fuck if I lose listeners tonight. I would fucking take the Europe. You know, I'm not even going to say it 'cause I love you guys that listening to this show, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a fuck about a European title. Bottom fucking line.
You don't have to, but they do.
No fucking European title. Joe Frazier ain't holding no fucking European title. Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, those titles don't mean shit. They only mean shit over there. And that's okay. I'm not disrespecting you guys by saying that your title means something over there. But in the real world, the rest of the world, you have to be a world champion, not a domestic champion. That's some shit you guys made up. Do we got domestic champions over here? Who's our fucking domestic champion? Tell me. Who's a fucking domestic champion? I'm going to some callers because.
Next, real quick, before you burn off, real quick, you got to remember that it's all about percentages over there. So if you take their population, I'd probably say let's just estimate and say maybe 8% to 10% watch boxing here. But with their population, they're probably playing more with 60, 70% of the people over there watch boxing, correct? So to them, yeah, maybe if we had 80% of the United States watching boxing, the NABF title will mean a lot more. But instead, we don't. We have 10% of the people, and we have all the big titles. I understand what you're saying, but it's almost like discrediting someone for winning the state Golden Gloves, but saying you didn't win the Nationals, bitch. You didn't do shit yet. That's not fair.
James, let me tell you something. With what you said, I know that you was the little kid that you fucking waited at night and you faked like you was sleeping. On Christmas Day, you woke up, you opened your fucking gifts, and you really thought Santa brought that bullshit to you when it was your fucking mother and father working hard for that. Because Vic already said it, right? Vic, don't interrupt me, Vic, because I see you coming on. Hold on. Vic said this, right? He said that over here, those titles don't mean nothing to us, and over there they do, right? Okay. So, and he also said that over here, we have title fights on Showtime and HBO because it's packaged free, and it's what the casual fans want. That he even gave us a little different impersonation of his voice, right? And what the fuck do you think that they're doing to the UK boxing fan over there? They're tricking them the same way we're tricking them over here with our 4 different sanctioning bodies, 5 if you add the IBO. They're giving them a domestic, and I quote with air quotes for everybody who's not watching on YouTube, they're giving them a domestic champion so they can fill the fucking stadium. That's what they're doing. They're giving them a fake title because they can't produce a real one. Because guess what? 90% of those motherfuckers are going back to work at the bar. But I'm gonna take it to the streets.
You know, I think just because you don't believe in them doesn't mean they don't.
Exactly. That's the point.
901, you're live.
What's up, Kinfolk?
Hey, fuck, what's going on, brother?
Man, what's up, Kinfolk, man? Shit. They you tried your sauce on some wings. You need to put them on burger, dog.
Come on, you're gonna do that live on the air? You better talk some Maidana Mayweather or some shit.
Yeah, that too. But anyway, come out Amir Khan. People talking about Amir Khan. Man, Amir Khan gonna get his ass whooped in 5, dog. That's what I think.
In 5?
He don't have a chin.
5?
Yeah, he gonna get knocked out of 5. That man don't have a chin. He like Glad Joe on Mike Tyson Punch Out. He's gonna get his ass kicked. Because Collazo is the same motherfucker that knocked out Victor Ortiz, and Victor Ortiz is a heavy motherfucker. So how you think that Amir Khan gonna take a punch on his ass? And he fight at different angles too, so he fight fucked up anyway. He gonna fuck Amir Khan shit up. Just wait.
I don't take the Victor Ortiz win into account as a credible win.
Why not?
Because we're talking about a man who broke his jaw that had to go to almost, what I heard anyway, 3 doctors just to get clearance for the fight. That means 2 other doctors prior to that, or 3, so that he's not fit to fight. So we know that he had jaw issues. And in the past, we also know that he has issues of actually quitting fights. Then he takes a year off and goes Dancing with the Stars, then becomes a movie star. So you're going to tell me after a jaw injury, which he was already having issues with staying in the boxing sport, then he hurts his jaw, breaks his jaw, and has to get some sort of crazy fucking surgery. Then he builds another career outside the ring, then jumps back into the ring and gets knocked out, and I'm supposed to give credibility towards this?
You're just mad because you picked Ortiz.
No, I didn't. I picked fucking for the fact. You know I did it, motherfucker. If anyone, you know I did it.
I mean, it's not a credible win per se, but
that
he was the underdog. He was the underdog. I mean, that's not Luis Collazo is not you know he's not this hard hitting puncher now all of a sudden just because he dropped Ortiz. But You got to give him credit because he messed up plans.
I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit for
It was
the
the
win.
wrong person for Victor Ortiz to come back against.
I'll give him credit for upsetting the apple cart.
We'll see Saturday.
I'll give him credit for upsetting the apple cart, but what I'm saying is essentially if I had to say the Victor Ortiz right after Berto was not the Victor Ortiz that got in there with Collazo.
We're live with MV2. MV2, what's going on, brother?
Nez, what's up, bro? What's going on?
MV2, please school this man about how the fucking titles work out in the UK, please.
He's not
Well,
even
Nez,
from the UK. This guy's from Scotland, man.
Which is not, is that not part of the UK? I thought it was.
He's from Ricky
oh,
Burns.
Nez, don't tell me you're actually being up on geography now, man. Come on.
No, I'm not. I just remember that my good friend MV2 is from Scotland. One day, I will go to Scotland and I will meet MV2.
MV2, is Scotland not part of the UK?
Are you happy? Yes, it is.
Yay! There it is. I win. At least I win something today.
De La Hoya, Roger Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather never dream about being European champion. Well, let me tell Nez, they can't be European champion because they're not European.
There we go. There we go, Nez.
The point is, it's redundant. It's like a European fighter.
Is that really your jab comeback? Really?
He hit you with that Santa Claus logic. Don't get pissed off. That's that Santa Claus logic. You hit
Santa
me
Claus
with.
is real, motherfucker.
You know what I mean?
James, it's not.
It just doesn't work like that, man.
This is the thing, right? Oscar De La Hoya and all the names that he mentioned, yeah, they can't be champion because they're not European, right? But Europeans are Europeans and they want to be world champion, but guess what? They can't because they're not good.
Oh, we're talking semantics now, man. Listen, you guys have had a lot of people call up about casual fans. You've had Brian Campbell. Oh, it was a great pleasure listening to Brian Campbell, even though he contradicted himself, like the other caller was saying. You had the guy just after him who had his own podcast. He talked about casual fans and about getting the casual fans back. Then he kind of referenced Riddick for some reason. I don't know why. But listen, fuck the casual fan. I've had enough of the fucking casual fan. All these old callers calling in from years past that you guys know that no one else does, calling up because, wow, Floyd Mayweather's fighting. Man, where the fuck were these callers when fucking the main fight of the week was Tyson Fury against Derek Chisora? Where were these fucking callers then? Now they're all fucking calling up. Now I have to wait 2 hours, and I'm not blaming you guys. Now I need to wait 2 hours on the fucking line because some guy wants to talk about this fight this weekend. Where the fuck were you guys 4 weeks ago when there was fucking no callers, when there was fucking 2 fights on, ESPN, Telefontura, fucking Fox Sports? Where the fuck were these fucking fans?
Damn, you're pissed off today, Chew. Chew was fucking pissed today. He doesn't like our hold music.
MV2, man. I love you, MV2. I swear to God, I love you, dude. You are a fucking awesome person.
Listen, I fucking love your show, mate, and I've been calling for 18 months, and I still don't have an intro. And
yeah, why is that,
What the
Ness?
fuck, Ness? Give them an intro.
No. Listen, I'm not the producer, and let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you the truth. James sent me a James, what's the name of the Irish drinking song you sent me for you?
I don't remember the name of it, but he's not Irish. He's Scottish.
I know. So no. Wait, MV2, because this is the dilemma, right? So I tell the producer, I'm like, yo, he's not gonna get mad because you're using an Irish drinking song. You guys are fucking Scottish and Irish are like fucking cousins. Let's be real. You guys do the same shit. Hang out at bars and get drunk and beat each other up in bars. Come on. So I wanted to hook up your Irish drinking song with and go back and get the soundbite of you saying I love boxing, but also a piece of that time when you was all crybaby-ish and hurt, your feelings were hurt, and you was like, Nez, I fucking love this show, but hypocrite, you're a hypocrite. You know, when you were sounding like the fucking Lucky Charms guy and shit. But Matt believes that you would have gotten upset because he's Irish, and he says you would get upset if I play a Irish drinking song. I don't believe that shit.
Yes, and first off, they don't fight each other at bars. They bottle each other. They bottle each other.
Well, you know,
We do that as well, James.
rugby and shit
James,
like that.
Guys, my skin might be pale, but it's also thick. You can play what the fuck you want. I want mine, man.
I hope Matt is listening because I would have been had your intro, bro. And by the way, you're his favorite caller, but we're just trying to come up with something epic. Believe me, this is not a lie. This is all facts. You know I don't even lie to you guys. You guys know my whole fucking life.
Just get him that 2 Chainz song, that Big Booty Ho song. He'll be good.
Nah, it's got to be something significant. Like he said, he's been calling in too long. That's why it's taking time. Listen, look how long James has been co-hosting. He just got his intro like 3 weeks ago. It's got to be right.
MV Chew, that sounds like they're racist because we're white, brother. It's cool.
And you need to my picks for this weekend. I've got Floyd Mayweather. Maidana is a good fighter, but the footwork, it's not there. He can look good against somebody like Adrian Broner, who's going to stand right in front of him, but the guy who makes him move and makes him turn, you know, he's going to beat him just like Devin Alexander beats him. You know, fucking Robert Garcia hasn't fucking rebuilt a new man. It's just he's managed to kind of make him set up his power punches more, but, you know, you can't hit what's not there, so I think Floyd's just going to school him 12 rounds. And I've got Khan over Collazo. The only guys who have beat Khan have been power punchers. And Collazo's not a power puncher. So I've got Khan and I've got Broner. Comfortable decision.
MV2, I would love to stay and argue with you, but we got a lot of callers. We got to do drive-by, right? But I want to tell you this. I just want to give you this little Easter egg to go home with, right? You say that Khan only lost to punchers. Khan looked horrible versus Molina, 135-pounder, and he looked even worse versus Julio Diaz. I mean, I think it's safe to say that Luis Collazo is not only more battle-tested than those two guys, but better than those two guys, right?
I mean, listen, I agree with you. He looked like shit, but he still won.
Okay,
it's all about
I'm
the
just
W,
saying.
man.
I'm just saying, for all you
Well,
can't...
I don't know being more battle tested than Julio Diaz.
I don't see it.
I don't know about that, but
What you say, Vic?
I don't know about being more battle tested than Julio Diaz. Julio Diaz was a world champion. But
so was fucking Luis Collazo.
Wasn't he was in an interim one? I thought it was an interim one.
I don't know, but I know I used to see him in the fucking club with a WBC on his shoulder. I've seen him personally.
But that being said, this is Khan's first fight at 47, so we shall see.
And have you noticed that every person that called in so far that said they didn't hate Khan, everybody basically picking against Khan has always started it off with, I can't stand Amir Khan. Just saying, people are picking with their hearts, not their heads.
Yes.
Picking with your heart, not your head.
Devil's advocate with MV Chu, right? He says that Khan only lost to punches. So where's British Prescott's power? Because who's he knocked out other than Khan?
Yo, he's wobbled some very, very tough fighters, man. He's
Here you
wobbled
go
more
with
than
the
once.
bullshit. What you said he did? What you said he did? I didn't even hear you. I'm sorry.
Nah, he wobbled Alvarado. Nearly knocked out Alvarado. Listen, Prescott, that is all Prescott got. That's all Prescott got. Power. That's all he's got.
Khan is a fucking bum. And one day, I will be vindicated. Because even after Danny thrashing him, Lamont beating him, you guys find ways to back him. But one day, I will be vindicated. And everybody will call in and they're going to say, Nez, you was right, Nez. You was right about Khan. You was right about Ricky Burns. Mother callers here, 503, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
You sound like you're inside of a soda can.
Oh, my bad. Can you hear me?
You're still in a soda can.
Can you hear me?
I'm in Southampton.
Just go ahead and talk, brother. Go ahead and talk.
Hey, so I wanted to give my final prediction for Mayweather Maidana.
Go for it.
All right, so what I predict is 12 brutal rounds for Maidana. Like, I feel like Maidana's going to pull it off.
Is he breaking up?
503?
I know he's going to make the fight, and that's what I predict. I feel like Maidana's going to win.
503, you must have went through a dead zone, brother. We lost you after you said 12 brutal rounds. This man needs to stop messing with Metro PCS. 414, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
Hey, what's happening? It's Scotty. How's it going?
Scotty, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys? So I'll throw a spin at you. Maybe it's just me, but you know what I kind of see happening in the background is I see Mayweather all buddy-buddy with Broner, and I think he's just using him. A big part of me tells me he's using Broner to help clean up his image because you know how he was the bad boy of boxing, and now he's kind of had a softer side the last couple all accesses and all his interviews, right? He's getting a little softer. He's not getting as hard. When Broner was getting all crazy, he even said Broner's got to learn when to turn it on, turn it off. So he's kind of using him. So I think, anyway, to be the new bad guy, right? So he's going to look better in comparison. And sooner or later, you're going to see him separate from him like you did 50 Cent. And he's going to say, nah, he was never my little brother. He's just a clown. He acted like he was me, and he's never going to be as good as me. I think he's using them. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or nothing, but I just see little hints of that happening, and that's just my thoughts on it. What do you guys think? Think I'm crazy?
Well, I'm not going to call you crazy. I'm just going to ask you this. Why would Floyd Mayweather need to use Adrian Broner? Like, what does he gain? If anything, just associating himself with Broner is adding popularity to Broner, not the other way around. So why would he? I don't understand how is he using him.
Well, he could getting hurt a little bit more, you know, because he's getting more and more ridicule from fans saying that he's not the best ever, that he's cherry picking. You just hear stuff going more and more, and I think he's just trying to change his image a little bit. And I just think that's part of it.
I mean, I would have agreed with you to a certain extent that maybe he would want Broner to be a possible opponent down the line. I think we've discussed that on the show. But, I mean, he showed some of his true colors, you know, on social media today. I mean, he pretty much just shitted on some woman because for whatever reason, whether it's to sell the fight, you know, social media was going crazy. And, you know, Floyd was playing that bad guy role.
Or because she was sitting ringside at a game with Nelly. Wood, you're live, brother. What's going on? Talk to us.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Hey, look, I can see desperation. I'm not on Twitter, no. I can't see all the tweets and all that type of shit, but I can see desperation in Floyd Mayweather and shit, man. This fight ain't gonna do as good as he. His fight ain't gonna do as good as he think. I think he know this fight ain't doing too good, and he desperate. And that's what we need to do. Is if we want to see good fights, we gotta stop. This nigga got too much control, man. He telling us basically he'll fight anybody and we'll watch anyway. No boxers don't need that much. We watch a boxing to see good fights, not to see this nigga. I don't got nothing against him. I used to be a fan of this motherfucker, but this nigga getting too fucking arrogant. Talking about he can fight anybody and we gonna watch it. Yeah, I want to see good fucking fights, man. I'm to the point where I'm like, fuck this nigga. I ain't gonna watch this nigga fight any motherfucking body. And he'll tell you straight up, man, I'm not fighting this motherfucker. He don't care if it's a cheat. He'll tell you straight up, I'm not fighting this motherfucker. I don't care. I'm gonna pick this motherfucker. I don't care if y'all want to watch this shit or not. And then these dumb motherfuckers turn around and
playing in the background, my friend.
Say that again.
You got your computer playing in the background. You watching the show?
Hold on. Damn.
Killing me.
Yeah, it's off now. Hey, yo. This fight need to do fucking bad, and I bet you any amount of money this nigga fuck around to fight Bernard Hopkins. He'll fight Adrian Broner. He'll fight anybody. He'll fight any motherfucking body to make that sell, to make them sales. He got to do bad. He got to do fucking bad for him to fight. That's how when he do good. When he do good in that motherfucking other fight, he turned around for Canelo ASAP. They paying this motherfucking.
Check it out. If All Access is any indication of how good this fight is gonna do or not do, episode 2 of All Access Mayweather Maidana, it failed to resonate with viewers. The documentary style special attracted just 294,000 viewers. That's fucking horrible.
Yeah. I'm telling you, nobody don't know who the fuck Marcos Maidana is. People ain't feeling this shit, man. People not feeling it. Floyd, that's why it took so long to put this motherfucking fight together. It took so long that they put this shit together the last minute. They ain't promote this month. They ain't spend no money to promote this motherfucking fight. Everything about this fight is odd. Everything about this fight was fucking odd. They put this shit together at the last fucking minute. They put Broner on the card. They put Broner on the card, and the mid-card just to try to. If it wasn't for them, this fight wouldn't do nothing. Floyd know his reign is almost to a fucking end because motherfucker pissed off. This nigga won't fight Pacquiao. He won't fight. He'll tell you straight up, he ain't gonna do this shit. This nigga too much in fucking control. He too much in. This shit don't even fucking seem like a fucking sport no motherfucking more. When a motherfucker can say what he not going to do and all this shit's supposed to be a fucking sport. It's supposed to have some motherfucking rules. We got like 5 or 6 fucking middleweight champions, fucking welterweight champions and shit, yo. How the fuck can you, if you have a boxing friend and if you have a friend they want to ask you about boxing, they ask you who the world champion, you got to name about 10 motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, be glad you ain't got to name off the European champions that Vic wants you to put them on the same statue.
But I bet you one thing, at least they fucking know who they champion. They
exactly. Plain and simple. You done.
And they
their champion is.
They can say 1 or 2 motherfuckers. We got name about all kind of. Somebody asked you why Mayweather won't fight Pacquiao. If you had a friend that liked boxing a little bit, he asked you why Mayweather won't fight Pacquiao. It might we watch boxing all day long. We can't even figure out why they won't fight. It's too fucking silly, man. We don't even really know why them motherfuckers ain't fighting, man.
That's so true. That's so true. Hey, Wood, but look. On a bright note, we need to start backing the IBF. IBF continues to follow the rules. They're forcing Bernard Hopkins to fight his mandatory. He has plans on fighting Adonis Stevens. That's not happening. He has to fight his mandatory. They're not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
Have you seen his mandatory fighters? The fight that's actually going to get for it?
As the boxing customers, man, if we put our foot down, that's one thing about boxing fans. The people that love boxing, we like boxing. We love boxing. Like myself, I'm saying I won't buy that fight. I get bored. I fuck around, get bored, and buy that motherfucking fight, knowing damn well I don't want to support that shit. I fucking break down and buy that shit. If I get bored enough, I fucking break down and buy that shit, and I be like, after I buy that shit, I be like, God damn, why the fuck I buy that motherfucking shit? But that's how they get us, cause we love the sport too. We love the sport too motherfucking much.
That's a
That's
good
why
point,
they
Wood.
get away with they get away with a lot of dumb shit, man. We need to
90
cut down
seconds.
some of these motherfucking world titles, man. All these motherfuckers talking about I'm not gonna fight him because he not popular enough. I'm not going to like Keith Thurman. Too many motherfuckers induct this motherfucker and they get away with it. They get away with it. Back in the day, you couldn't get away with ducking motherfuckers, man. You couldn't get away with all that ducking and shit. Everybody, it's cool to duck a nigga now.
No, Wood. Let me tell you something. Let's not get
60
it confused.
seconds.
Back in the day, you wouldn't know if a fighter ducked them because you couldn't buy an Arizona local newspaper and James couldn't buy the New York Daily Times. That shit don't work like that. Now we have the internet. That's why we know that boxing is fucked up, because now we can see. It's under a microscope because we could see every fight. We know the names of the refs now and the commissioners and the fucking CEOs of promotional companies. When did we know all this information that we know now? When did we know that Mayweather had twins and got them aborted? We now, because of the internet, we know all that we know, so now we're frustrated. Let's not get it confused like we weren't getting the same shit back then. Like
10
Riddick
seconds.
didn't throw his fucking world
Boxing
titles in
always
the
had
trash because
slimy
he didn't want to
characters
fight
in
somebody.
it.
Let's not get
Boxing
it
always had
confused.
slimy characters in there. But everybody want to thank God and Al Heyman and shit, man. This motherfucking rat motherfucker, man. This, I don't even want to say what I want to say about this motherfucker Al Heyman, man. I'm just gonna cut this shit short. Hey, Nuts. I hit you up Sunday after the fight, man. Peace.
All right, man. 253, you're live on the Boxing Voice. Who's this?
This is Lenny from Tacoma. What up? It's been a minute.
What's going on, brother?
What's happening? First of all, I think that Khan's going to win just because if he loses, he's done in America. No one will want to see him ever again here. And the other thing is, I had a question. I heard a conspiracy theory that Al Heyman's signing all these people because ESPN's trying to jump in the pay-per-view ring, and I wanted to know what you guys thought about that. Is Al Heyman getting ready to do a big deal with ESPN?
Vic, I haven't heard anything about that.
Me neither.
Like I said,
Vic,
it was.
are you alive?
I heard it. What's that?
I hear Vic Dog.
He's clearly not hearing us.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't heard much about that, though, to be honest with you. I mean, what do you think about all this stuff? Do you think it's good for boxing that, Al Heyman's swooping up all these fighters and there's possibly another Cold War on the horizon? That's kind of rhetorical because we know that it's not good for boxing.
253, you still there?
He's got hit by a wave.
Juggernaut, you're live. What's going on, brother?
This is Juggernaut, and I love boxing. How come I don't get the intro?
He sounds like a transformer.
Really bad right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you way better now. You was too close to the mic, I guess.
All right. I got the Pakistani prince knocking Luis Collazo's Brooklyn teeth straight. He will survive. He will win.
There we go, Juggernaut. He has spoken.
You're delusional,
Wait,
buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro.
We hear you.
All right.
This is
I got Davion Love getting a competitive robbery over that Peruvian guy, and I got
Peruvian, isn't he Mexican?
Marcellus Serrano beating Rico Ramos, Heyman's boy, and that's Juggernaut in drive-by mode.
Where's Rob Palmer at? Mr. Palmer.
Hello? What's up, man?
What up?
How's it going? Yeah, I heard you talking about you were asking about Sky Sports earlier. You want to talk about that, or you want to stick to the fight?
Whatever you like, brother.
Well, I mean, what you guys were talking about earlier with regards to pay-per-view and things like that, why boxing doesn't work on network TV, the biggest thing is the advertising. Imagine if you're Nike, you paid all this money to advertise on Mayweather versus Maidana this weekend, and you've paid for your 30-second slot on the 7th round, and then Mayweather knocks him out in the 5th round, your commercial doesn't pay, and you're going to be pissed. That's why boxing, at its biggest, has to be on a pay-per-view sport, because it can't demand the kind of advertising revenue that a sport like the NBA or the NFL does, where you get a guaranteed amount of time and a guaranteed allotted amount of advertising.
That's a good point. That's a real good point.
But Ned, the best thing he said this show was a moment ago when he said about backing the IBF and the other belts. Why is the only Top Rank versus Golden Boy fight that's going to have taken place for the last 3 years is only happening for one reason, because the WBO ordered it. So we've been trashing these belts for the past 10 years, but that's the only way we're going to save ourselves.
Well, to be fair, WBC ordered Vanez Laura, but it was also
that's true.
Like a backdoor move, because they should have been ordered Vanez Canelo. They forced Vanez to have like 3 different eliminators.
Also, I don't think that the fight being a 50-50 really makes a difference to the casual viewer. If you're a fan of when people watch the Miami Heat, they don't care if they're playing the weakest team. Sure, there's more interest when they're playing a better team, but people still want to see LeBron and Dwayne Wade dunk on people. And it's the same with Mayweather. They want to see him just take someone apart and beat them up. I think when it comes to the casuals, they're not so fussed about that 50-50.
I'm not sure if that's true. I mean, Marlon Wayans was featured on the last All Access, and even he said, "Oh, Mayweather's gonna beat up on a guy that doesn't know Spanish. I mean, doesn't know English." Like, people are tired. Believe me that they are. But Rob, talk to me a little bit about these European titles. I mean, just really quick, not too much time because we killed that. But I just want to know the true meaning behind these titles and why are they held in such high regard.
Well,
you have horrible background noise, by the way.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm driving. If it gets too bad, you can click me off, but I'll try my best. With the British title specifically means so much because it's the oldest title in boxing. Back in the day, believe it or not, there was no world championships. There was no belts in boxing. You would just have random fights that would just take place. It's only in the last sort of 100 years or so that championships have come along. But before that, the British title was the first championship where you would have the people competing for a title over a specific distance, and that was the British Championship, and that's why it means so much. Also, there's only one British title. There's only one European title, whereas in the States you have the NABF, the NABO. Imagine if you had a US championship. There was only one US championship, and those fights were being on ESPN. If say the opening fight for the pay-per-view card this weekend is J. Leon Love against Periban. Imagine if that was for the North American Championship. It would just add something more to it, you know? It's almost like a developmental belts, kind of like how the Intercontinental Championship in wrestling was. It's like the belt before you get to the world title.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, there used to be state titles before, and those titles used to mean something here back in the olden days. I mean, I think Joe Frazier was a New York State champion. I mean, those titles used to mean something. But now that there's 800 million little green belts running around, and red ones and blue ones and all this other shit, it doesn't really mean much.
And you also have mandatories for those belts. I mean, when was the last time anybody did an NABF mandatory defense? I doubt it's happened in the last 20 years. And that's why, I mean, when you guys talk about the Cold War, it's interesting because there's never ever been a period in Europe where the main promoters have co-promoted together like Top Rank and Golden Boy used to, like Top Rank and Don King used to. Frank Warren and Eddie Hearns would never work together on a show. The only time their fighters would ever fight is in a purse bid situation. It's always been that way. and it's that way in Germany with the promoters there. It's that way in Japan with the promoters there. There's no co-promotion. The only reason the fights happen between the two sides is when there's a purse bid situation.
Yeah, it's just cool.
That's just really saddening news right there. Very saddening. Hey, Rob, let you put you back on mute. I got to get to some other callers here because we've already expired the live portion, so I'm going to get to these guys that are here. I think this might be the dream. It sure is. Got the merengue.
Sounds like the dream.
What's shaking, man?
Yo, dímelo. Está con merengue allá atrás.
Yeah. You know what it is, man. You know how Dominicans do, man. Gotta go do these. Oh, yeah. What y'all want to know, man?
Fucks me up with this. What we want to know. We want to know whatever you give us the privilege of listening to.
Nah, nigga. We doing it a Saturday night. This May 3rd card. What y'all want to know, man?
What are your picks? Who you got? And why?
Amir Khan.
There we go. Why you got Khan, though?
Broner. I do see Maidana, giving him some problems in some certain rounds. Maybe outboxing him in a few rounds, but just no pop, too small. Perivan, Jalen Love, who gives a fuck? Ain't talking about that fight. And the main event, I'm just listen, man. I'm gonna just watch the fight. I'm gonna just watch the fight, man. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna just watch the fight. That's it. If Mayweather gets fucked up, nigga, whenever you see me, whoever from drinks on me, wherever y'all see me at, we at a bar or something, drinks on me, Mayweather gets fucked up. I'm celebrating. I'm going nuts, nigga. I'm doing videos. We doing a post fight, man. If Mayweather gets knocked out or he gets beat up, man, I might do the last. That's gonna be the last episode of my show, Boxing Roundtable. But that's it. I don't need to do no more shows after that. But anyway, people talking about boxing and the situation is in, and boxing in the United States it's not mainstream and it will never be mainstream again. Probably won't. Boxing has fucked boxing up. Not the fighters, but the promoters, the people with their hand in the business, and they're continuing to kill the sport, and they will. And that's it. And there's nothing we can do about it. So the more you support boxing is actually the more you kill boxing. Because the more you support boxing, you're not really supporting boxing, but you're supporting these motherfuckers that fucked it up in the first place. So, boxing ain't going. Boxing is gonna be like alternative music. Like it's not mainstream. People have concerts and shit, but only a certain crowd listens to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's boxing ain't never gonna be what it was in this country. Bottom line, period.
Well, I'm going to get to some other callers, brother. We on drive by here. Jay Nice, you're live.
Yo, what's good, Ness? How you guys doing, bro? Listen, why aren't you guys watching the fights right now? That's one question. It would be cool to hear you guys do the play-by-play instead of, I like Teddy, but, got a play-by-play from Ness and James and, and Vic. That's crazy.
That's something to put in the suggestion box.
I think that would be so hard because I really watch fights, so I'll be scoring and everything. I don't know. I don't know if I can do both.
Well, on the commercials, you guys can get to the fans and give your opinion. Right now, they're showing Sergio and Rigo at the fights that are happening right now with Victor Cayo and Roberto Garcia. But back on the thing that you were saying earlier, I don't know if you got updated, but Lance Satterfield, he did a report today saying that, let me read it to you. It says, although the 49-year-old Hopkins was ordered by the organization on Wednesday to face the winner on June 21st between Dochenko and whatever the fuck the other guy's name is, Darryl Peoples ruled that for Hopkins to take the unification bout has precedence. So, he basically told Hopkins to continue negotiating because I think you were under the impression that the IBF was forcing Hopkins to fight his mandatory. So that's out the window.
Yeah, because they sent them a letter ordering the mandatory defense of the organization congratulated him on his victory versus Shumanov, and then added, and I quote, "Your mandatory defense will be due on or before July 26, 2014. Normally, the IBF would notify you approximately 60 days prior to your due date as to whom the mandatory challenger is, and you will be required to negotiate the mandatory at that time. However, due to the circumstances beyond our control, the eliminator for the mandatory challenger cannot be completed until June 21st, 2014. As soon as that fight is over, you will be notified to start negotiations with the winner. In the event you are unable to negotiate the mandatory, the IBF will call for a purse offers to determine who will promote the fight and when and where. That is, of course, if Hopkins is granted an exception, he also could vacate the belt and would still have another Dedachenko of Ukraine and now living in Los Angeles, whatever. That's all I got.
So since this fight is about to begin, who do you guys got over Victor Cayo or Garcia?
Garcia.
Cayo's a bum.
Roberto Garcia, the one that fought Margarito.
Yep.
He's moving down from
You guys both got
168 to 160 to 147. If he doesn't die, which this is his second fight because he just had a 147-pound fight on ESPN like 2 weeks ago. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay, and he's going to destroy Cayo. I mean, I hope he does anyway. I mean, not that I hope he does, but you know, I just think Cayo's not good.
Oh, man. Well, guys, it was good. I know you guys got more calls, so I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to talk to you guys on Sunday.
No, man. Yo, real quick, I'm looking at the card, though, that's going on right now on ESPN. On the undercard, Rogers Matagua is in a 6-round fight.
Yeah. He's the guy that made Gamboa and Lopez famous.
But 6 rounds? Christ, man, that dude has really slipped.
I'm going to go to this last caller here. One. Yo, if you hear me, that's because you're live. Okay.
Hello?
All right, so.
Oh, there it is. What was that?
I don't know what that was, but I'll go back to him because I want to talk about this Andre Ward. Matter of fact, let me pull up my soundbite. I know I got one in here somewhere for this dude because he's still stuck in that contract, Vic. I mean, he keeps trying. This the second time now, and he loses again.
You lose.
Hey, he's no longer a fighter. He's the part-time commentator to me.
Hey, Vic, man, I'm really not happy about Joel Diaz Jr., not the Joseph Diaz Jr., but the real 130-pounder. The kid that got like 12 fights and already has massive scalps under his resume signed to DeBella. I don't know if I should be happy about that. I don't think I can be.
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't signed to anybody for a while, so not sure why.
Well, he was with Boxing 360 when he.
Yeah, but then they folded.
He had the Guillermo Sanchez fight as well was under Boxing 360.
Yeah, but they folded though, so. Or I mean, they didn't fold, but basically a court in New York ruled them to be breaching contracts, and they can't promote no more.
Wow. Well, Mendez Bartholomew rematch is set for July 10th, and it's going to happen in Miami.
July 10th. Wow.
I don't think it's going to be much different than the first fight. It's just going to be a knockout inside. We'll see, though.
Fair assessment.
And for all you guys that like Kevin Mitchell, he's back in action versus somebody I never heard of named Madamo.
I mean, if he wins that fight, he fights Titre. He fights Vasquez.
They're going to be on the undercard of Carl Froch Groves in front of that 80,000 people. I think we need to end this because there's mad fights we need to watch.
Well, you got your picks in. I got
obviously Mayweather, but hoping Maidana makes it interesting. Or even so, I would gladly be wrong if Mayweather loses to shake things up, but doesn't look like it'll happen in my opinion. I got Collazo because I think this is the wrong fight for Khan to come off a long layoff from. But if he wins, kudos to him. Broner by whitewash, and I got Love by criminal charges.
I guess you're gonna let me go then, yes, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna go with Mayweather. Mayweather's gonna win most of it. I actually think it's gonna be entertaining for the first few rounds. I think it's gonna be more entertaining than what we got with Canelo and Robert Guerrero. I'm almost thinking more like Victor Ortiz, because while that fight lasted, I was kind of excited in that fight. That was actually, to me, it wasn't that bad of a fight. Then I'm gonna go with Khan. I think Khan's speed's gonna have Collazo basically backing up for most of the fight, playing the counterpuncher role, which is gonna feed right into Khan's offense because he's gonna be able to get in, get out. I think he has enough power to kind of keep Collazo not wanting to exchange with him in these exchanges. And I think that's the worst idea. If you're going to beat Khan, you're going to need to catch him with those exchanges. So I got Khan. I think he's going to win about 8 of those rounds. I don't think it's going to be a robbery. I think it's going to be a just deserved win. And then obviously I got Broner. I think that's going to be a pretty easy fight. I think he's going to get caught with a lot of left hooks because I think Carlos Molina throws good left hooks. Other than that, it's going to be Broner. And then I'm picking Parabon to win by... Yeah, I don't even know. I'm just going to pick Parabon. I think Parabon's going to beat J. Leon Love, and I don't think he's going to get a robbery.
Well, I got Marco Antonio Beribang beating Love, Broner beating Molina, and I hope that he looks like DeMarco, like in that fight. Collazo beating Amir Khan. And I got Marcos Maidana in the upset of boxing history.
Oh my God! You're just saying that. That's just your Hail Mary. So if you're right, you're right. Everyone praises you for it.
No. He's gonna win this fight.
You don't really believe that.
Now I know you've been smoking.
Yeah.
I've been watching tape, and he's gonna win this fight.
All right.
This fight. All right. Just look for the overhand right.
You're really gonna end it like that.
And look for very tough, street-like tactics in this fight. Think of this fight as a mixture of Victor Ortiz versus Mayweather without the headbutt, Castillo Mayweather 1, and Shane Mosley Mayweather. But it's going to happen, each of those things are going to happen per round. And we're going to see Mayweather lose.
I hope you're right. To be honest with you, it'd be like you guys said, man. It'd be awesome to kind of get the casual fans stirring up with the loss. So, but I don't see it happening.
Hey, Saturday, Nostradamus will be back.
All right, just order yourself a lot of crow when Mayweather and Khan win. So,
whatever.
When it comes to the hurt business, they don't just talk it, they live it. The heart and soul of the game is at the boxing voice. No pulling punches or feints up at the boxing voice. They shoot it straight to your face up at the boxing voice. Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. You want it real, ain't got no choice. You come into the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. You want it real, ain't got no choice. You tune into the boxing voice. The heart and soul of the game is at the boxing voice. No pulling punches or feints up at the boxing voice. They shoot it straight to your face up at the boxing voice. Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice. That real talk, man, they give it to you raw, baby. Hard as a right from Rican Dow to the jaw, baby. Like Danny Swift landing on a mid-card, baby. Fucking with the best, and it's about to go down. That boy Vic, no, this shit front to back, baby. You try to front and that's just getting in your ass, baby. They ain't playing games and they ain't giving you a pass. Disrespect you gotta earn like the legends of the past. Did you wind up in the urn after exchanges with the greatest? All the real shit that's popping in the news. They got the latest from the best up and comers all the way up to your favorite. It's 100% authentic game in the major. Gotta feel me when I'm saying the heart and soul of the game is at the boxing voice. No pulling punches or feints up at the boxing voice. They shoot it straight to your face up at the boxing voice. Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. You want it real, ain't got no choice. You come into the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. This is the boxing voice. You want it real, ain't got no choice. You tune into the boxing voice. The heart and soul of the game is at the boxing voice. No pulling punches or feints up at the boxing voice. They shoot it straight to your face up at the boxing voice. Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice.